What's going on, Chicago Bears fans? 8-3. It's the place to be, and it's good enough for me. I'm Dustin Jones. Kyle, what's up? Brandon is busy for a
Yeesh.
second. Brandon, what's up?
What's up?
How we doing? Listen, we're gonna get
A
into
little
all that.
worse than I was before your intro.
Go fuck yourself. You just ruined it. You just ruined it, and you're not even on
I'm
camera.
all right, man. The Bears are 8-3.
And that's good enough for you.
That's good enough for
Let's get
me.
into it. Bears, Steelers. What's going on with the left tackle? Is Dennis Allen a genius? I mean, is Ben Johnson the best Bears head coach of all time? Kyle, what do you think? We're gonna get into it, all that and more, right after this. Let's go.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot down heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the South Side parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
Brandon, Kyle, everyone in the chat. This is 4-Star Chicago Sports, Halas Hall Hangover. My camera is doing some weird shit. I told you, Kyle. Brandon, that was all off the top, anyways, man. So don't judge me. I didn't have anything like pre-written or anything. We're here to get into this Bears Steelers game. The Bears did it again, and they did it ugly. They just found a way, as Scott Angel's pointing out right here. They continue to do this. They continue to pull this horseshoe out of their ass and find ways to win these games. And I am here for it. Kyle, I know you're here for it. They're the cardiac Bears, and I'm loving it. I know everybody in the chat's loving it. I know everybody in Chicago's loving it. A lot of things stood out about that game. I don't know where you want to start, Kyle, but kind of give me your thoughts and takeaways from what you saw from the Bears yesterday. What impressed you the most?
Well, I mean, first of all, I was pretty par for the course, right? I mean, over the last 6-7 weeks, the Bears have been finding ways to win. And
this is their script. This is their script.
At this point,
their identity.
Until they perfect these schemes, this become the identity of the Chicago Bears. I mean, if you leave the door open with less than a couple minutes left, and you give the Bears the ball, they're going to find a way to win the game. But I mean, in all honesty, guys, I really don't give a shit how they win as long as they keep winning. There was definitely some flashes of Caleb where he looked amazing. I think this is one of his best games of the year. If you look at the statistics, definitely some flashes of Caleb where he looked inconsistent. But that's been pretty much the Chicago Bears since the start of this season. Montez Sweat had probably his best games this season as a Chicago Bear. The defense stepped up big in a time in which we thought they were probably going to look pretty bad, considering most of their stars are now injured. Obviously, with Tremaine Edmonds now on IR, this Bears defense just keeps getting hit by the injury bug, but they found a way to win. Nashawn Wright had an amazing game. I know from time to time he looks disappointing. He gives up big plays, but he comes up with the football when it matters the most. The Bears found a way to win, and this continues to be the script for the Chicago Bears this season, man.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun. And what stood out the most to me yesterday, man, was obviously this team was down a shit ton of defenders, the entire linebacking core, right? And all the talk leading up into the week about is Jalen Johnson going to go? Is Kyler Gordon going to go? I never expected them to go. And then Tyreek gets hurt in the game. And Jonah Jackson gets hurt in the game. And Benedet's not good to go. And Ruben Hippolyte gets demolished by Washington on that pull, man. Washington, I saw that coming in when they started pulling.
That
Washington.
Kid is a monster.
Yeah, it's unfair. It's unfair to put him on the field against people to do that. It really is. Hippolyte never had a chance, man. But yeah, all these guys being hurt and people just stepping up. Amen. Ozzy, Luke Newman in a spot start. McLeod did his very best, I guess. I don't know. But Nashawn Wright steps up big. The linebackers in general, D-Jack, that guy was amazing yesterday. And it's not just that he accumulated tackles. Like, he made an impact on the game. There were multiple times where he was making plays that you saw made a difference. And it's just like that next man up mentality, and no matter what, we're going to find a way to win is crazy. And also the fact that the Bears on defense situationally, getting off the field on third down, really limiting that offense to not a lot in terms of the passing game. Just Dennis Allen deserves a game ball in my mind. We're not getting into our game balls yet, but what Dennis Allen is doing with this defense, considering all the injuries, stands out to me in a major way. And then, yeah, Kyle, a lot of stuff on X yesterday during the game about Caleb. He's got to be better. He's not accurate enough, and this and that. And it's just what I saw was completely different. I saw him playing with anticipation, timing, getting the ball out before the receivers were even had their heads turned, and putting it in a great spot, especially in the red zone, which I think has been his biggest area of weakness so far this season. And to see that improvement was great, man. They found a way to win. It was awesome.
Yeah, you'd like to get to a point where maybe they make it look a little bit easier and you don't have to sweat out the last 10 minutes of the game. But I mean, if this is the way the Bears are going to play, this is the way the Bears are going to play, guys. And as long as they're turning these close games into wins, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I mean, you would hope that if you're thinking about the future of the Chicago Bears and you're watching this young talent and you're watching these guys develop, you would hope that Caleb Williams is going to continue to get more consistent as the season goes on and even in the next season in the second year under Ben Johnson. But yeah, I mean, he definitely had some plays. Right? It just seems like Caleb sometimes gets a little preemptive. He almost wants to throw the ball before the receiver gets out of his break, which is good to see because he's playing within the timing of the offense. But like, the one to roll him across the middle of the field where he had Rome wide open and he just threw it a little bit in front of him. I'm assuming as the season goes on and the more comfortable he gets in this offense, you're going to start to see him settle down a little bit and you'll start to see that completion percentage go up. But right now, guys, if they're going to continue to play the Mason Rudolphs of the world and the Giants and the Vikings and all these teams that have not been good this season, then the Bears can find a way to win, then find a way to win. That's at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I will say this.
Their luck's about to run out in that regard.
Yeah, schedule before the season, you look at it, you go, man, this is a gauntlet of a schedule. And then you get to this point, here we are, week 11, and the schedule that they've played this season is really not that tough schedule. The big boys are coming, man. I mean, I know the Packers have
starting Friday
consistent. The Eagles have looked inconsistent, but these teams also find ways to win. And it's going to come down to who plays a cleaner game. Right now, the Bears, if the way they've been winning, may not cut it against teams like the Eagles. We'll find out on Friday.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We're going to get into that a little bit too, because I want to talk about that. We got Bruce in here, Scott, Cliff Victoria, John S, Mikey checking in. Relentless Mikey, what's up, brother? Dwayne, how y'all doing? This is a fun time to be a Bears fan. We're glad you're here. Let us know what y'all want to talk about. Throw it in the chat. Please hit that like button if you have not already. I know all y'all are subscribed, but tell a friend. Tell a friend that's not subscribed to come check out 4-Star Chicago Sports. We have fun here. Brandon, your takeaways, your thoughts on that game. What stood out to you the most, man?
Yeah, I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, I kind of like this. It's not something I'm sure Ben Johnson wants to depend on for the remainder of his tenure as the Bears head coach. But it seems like every game, man, somebody just comes up big. And DJ Moore had a DJ Moore game yesterday. And
you sound like shit, Brandon. I gotta be honest. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah. I don't know if you got a little bit of a audio static,
man.
Yeah, you sound a little robotic. Yeah, the offense though. I thought it looked good, and I told Sean and Jay on that Sunday. Chime back in when you're ready, Brandon. I told Sean and Jay on that pregame show to check out that article by Nate Tice on Yahoo. Did you read that article regarding Ben Johnson's offense and Caleb Williams and the expectations?
I read what you sent.
So what that was referring to was like his completion percentage by a function of how this offense is run might not be as high as people want it to be right now because Ben Johnson wants those chunk plays, and you're obviously going to have a lower completion percentage on those than you are on consistently getting 4 or 5 yard plays and matriculating it down the field. That's going to lead to a higher completion percentage. So, I mean, I think what Caleb was doing yesterday was really working for the offense because they were getting those chunk plays and they were efficient in the red zone, and the run game really wasn't working. And this was against a really good pass rush. I mean, they weren't getting home very much against the Bears, which was a good thing to see. That offensive line held up with a rookie starting his first game at left tackle, right? So, I mean,
and a rookie at right guard for a majority of the game.
Yeah, 20 snaps I think Luke Newman had out of that game. So, I mean, like, when those things happen and you're still able to find ways to move the ball, and I mean, the Steelers defense has been suspect against the pass, but I thought the Bears still left shit on the field in terms of the passing game, right? Rome has got to start figuring out how to pull those catches down on the sideline. Like the one he couldn't get his leg down. It's like, get your damn leg down, tap your toes. And the other one, like he just dropped it when Caleb made a play, and when he's supposed to be your number one receiver, he's drafted in the top 10 to be that. Those are the kind of catches he needs to come down with, right? So, I mean, there was some frustrating stuff. And Caleb, like you were saying, Kyle, he missed some throws. He airmailed a couple. He didn't come execute to the level that you kind of see that it's going to get to. Yet at the same time, the Bears got the win. Caleb had 3 touchdowns, and this offense moved the ball against a pretty good defense with some really good players on it, man.
I did want to say, man, I was really. Am I sounding like shit?
No, you're sounding much better, Brandon.
I was really disappointed with the sack he took in the end zone, man. And I know there's people are going to spin this. He got it was so. And Watt is a very athletic player.
That was on Caleb.
Take the damn safety, man. Take the 2 points. Like, get your grounding call. Take your safety with some dignity and get the fuck off do not let a touchdown. You're gifting a team a touchdown. He's done that twice this year. Like, that's when he turns the ball over this season, it's been in very bad spots, man. And I want to see that start to improve because that's just a risk you're not willing to take, man.
Well, that and then the delayed game he took, Kyle and Brandon, after, when it was 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6, and he took a delayed game and it turned into what was it?
3rd and 7.
3rd and 7, it turned into 3rd and 13 or something like that, like 12. And then the next play was like an amazing catch by Colson Loveland. I do want to say, I hope everyone realized what a hard catch that was for Loveland to make. He got demolished, and then it popped out, and he was being tackled and still caught it on his way down. But that was 2 yards short of the first, right? That would have been a first. Caleb have taken that delayed game. I thought Ben Johnson should have been there to help him with the timeout, but Caleb's got to be more aware of what's going on. You can't take that kind of delayed game. And yes, Brandon, throwing the ball out like that and putting it in harm's way, and when you're in your own end zone, you just can't do stuff like that. Now, as is pointed out in the chat here, Caleb bounced back. He bounced back from those mistakes.
He always responds well. He does.
He creates work for himself for sure.
He's got a very short memory. He's not a guy who clings on to mistakes. He clearly just I think Caleb wants to get out immediately onto the field after a mistake to be better. I really do. I did want to say this.
Well, he got to in that case.
I've texted you, and Nahshon Wright is a special player. And I think when I see these injury reports come out, because I'm getting so accustomed to this egregious amount of injuries on the defensive side of the football, when I see that Byard and Wright are still in the game, I feel all right. These guys are just taking the ball away at such a high rate. And Nahshon Wright should have actually had 2 interceptions in that football game. Roman Wilson made a good play, really good play, and I think that kid is earning his snaps. I don't know why he's not getting them. But I thought he made a really good play, and I thought Nahshon Wright, again, put himself in position to get the ball over a receiver. He cuts routes short, and he's aggressive at the ball, man.
His length helps him to do that an awful lot.
And I got to say this, the kid is not the best cover corner in the league, and he's a penalty machine. He still is. A lot he still was on Sunday. He was a penalty machine. I think he had 2 penalties. I don't know. But or at least he had one. He had one for sure.
Yeah.
But if you were to tell me that our best player on defense, on the team, is going to miss the majority of this season, and the guy who was on a practice squad last year was going to step in and lead the league in interceptions, I would have told you you're out of your mind. This kid has made a really big impact on this defense, guys, and it's time to start talking about him. It really is. We just kind of brush him off like.
Let's talk about him.
Yeah, so I want to say this: when Jalen Johnson's healthy, are you just benching this kid?
Well, that's the question I guess we're going to get into now. I was going to try to hold off on that a little bit, but we'll get into it now because the chat's throwing it out there too. Cliff said he should have got a game ball. Mikey saying he should be the cornerback.
That catch was incredible, man. It was one of the best catches I've ever seen in my life. He one-handed the ball at the high point, stretched out as wide as he could, and toe tapped with maybe a quarter of an inch of his toe.
Yeah, no,
I mean, that is a play, man.
It was an amazing play, and Ben Johnson, I think, should have given Nahshon a game ball. I texted you guys yesterday. I thought Nahshon was the clear MVP of that game because it wasn't what he just did in pass coverage. He was great against the run. He kept setting the edge and stopping them from getting on the outside. Nahshon was in every aspect of that game, and he was actually pretty solid in coverage yesterday compared to what he's been all year. And so I was a little disappointed that he didn't get a game ball. I think they should have handed out 3 yesterday, and I think Nahshon should have gotten 1. But I mean, Kyle, this question: if Tyree Stevenson's healthy and Jalen Johnson is healthy, does Nahshon Wright keep a starting spot on your team, considering he's tied for the league lead in interceptions right now in the NFL?
Well, I mean, defined starting. He may be the first guy in the field, but I have a strong feeling this is going to turn into a rotation pretty quickly here. I mean, I think the Bears still want to see what they got in Tyreek Stevenson. Obviously, the guy was a second-round pick. Nahshon Wright's playing well. I mean, he's had his moments where he's looked really bad, and he's had his moments where he's looked very good. And
he's had moments where he gets a ball caught on him, Kyle, where he's playing really good coverage. He has had some plays where he's playing good coverage, like against T. Higgins, and they just catch the ball.
This is not to take anything away from Nahshon Wright, but I mean, two of the plays, like the play he got the interception, he was beat by a step. I mean, Mason Rudolph underthrew two deep balls in this game. Both of them. One of them, the Steelers got bailed out by Nahshon Wright pass.
Wow, he was beat by more than a step on that Addison.
Yeah. I mean, what do they say? The quarterbacks in the NFL, if ever you're going to miss a pass, don't underthrow it, overthrow it. And Mason Rudolph's not a good quarterback. That's why he's a backup in the NFL. They after that interception early in the game, they really didn't trust him to throw the ball downfield. The rest of the game was pretty much a bunch of dump offs and little screen passes and such. I mean, listen, Nahshon Wright has stepped in well for what the Bears have asked him to do, and the ball is finding him. He continues to take the ball away.
And I don't know how many guys can bring that ball in, man.
Team. But I mean, if you're talking about like if Nahshon Wright has earned himself a ton of money this offseason, and are you talking about the Bears giving him extension? Probably not. I'm assuming no. I think they're going to stick with Stevenson at number 2 and Jalen Johnson at number 1, Kyler Gordon number 3. But I mean, it's certainly nice to see these guys step up, and I think it has more to do with Dennis Allen than it does some of these players, and that's no disrespect to them whatsoever at all, because like you guys said, I mean, Nahshon's played great, and like he's had moments where he's looked really bad. Really bad. And that's what you're going to get from a backup. The backups are backups because they're inconsistent. That's why they're not starters. If he was consistent, he would be a starter in the NFL. I think Nahshon Wright has done the job the Bears have asked, but I think if you're talking about pure ceiling, Tyreek Stevenson's probably has a higher ceiling than Nahshon Wright. But right now, with the injury woes that the Bears have had, especially in the secondary, I think this is the best case scenario for them. They picked this guy up off a practice squad before the season. I mean, the Bears had other guys in the building, Jalen Jones, who we thought were going to be
well, Jalen Jones wasn't he signed with the Cardinals in this offseason.
They let him and then he went on IR.
He signed with the Cardinals, and then the Bears signed him back to the practice squad. But the guys who have had experience with the Bears have been on this team for a while, and here Dennis Allen gets here and he decides that Nahshon Wright's his guy, and that's the guy he's going to bring in here to be a backup, and he ends up playing a substantial amount of snaps for the Chicago Bears. I think he started every game, if I'm not mistaken, except for maybe that Detroit game when Jalen Johnson was back on the field for the first half. But yeah, I mean, he definitely has filled that void, and I think if he's willing to not take a huge contract to become a starting corner in the NFL and continues to be a backup, I see a scenario in which the Bears re-sign him this offseason for sure.
I think you need to, with the amount of injuries you've had to these guys in the secondary. You need somebody, man.
Yeah, well,
these guys don't stay healthy.
For this year, guys, I would say, man, like, and you guys know how much I've banged the table for Tyreek Stevenson over the last 2 years, but you can't take that guy's ball hawking ability off the field, as Brandon was saying. You know, like I can't in good conscience, the way this team is winning games, they're getting turnovers, and Nahshon Wright has been a big part of that. Tyreek Stevenson is not doing that. He's been great in coverage. He's battled. He's played the best receivers every week, and he's been great against the run, which he always is. But Nahshon Wright has this length that Flex is talking about right here that gives him this advantage in those types of matchups, especially when a team tries to go for the deep ball on you, you know? So, like, I have a hard time saying if Jalen's healthy, Jalen Johnson is healthy, that I'm going to sit Nahshon Wright. I might sit Tyreek Stevenson at this point because this team is living and dying with these turnovers, and Tyreek's not getting them. Nahshon is.
Sure, but like you said, Dustin, I mean, he was beat on that route, and if Aaron Rodgers is playing, that's probably a touchdown instead of interception. We have a totally different conversation right now. Listen, like I said, I'm bought in on Nahshon Wright. If he continues to do what he's doing, I see no reason why they would take him off the field. But I'm telling you right now, I think at some point you're going to see a rotation here. I don't think anybody's going to be outside of Jalen Johnson, and if Kyler Gordon comes back healthy, I don't think anybody's going to be a mainstay on this secondary. I think there's going to be a rotation. I think that was the plan from the beginning, guys. I think you would have seen some Terrell Smith had he not torn his ACL.
Nahshon Wright was getting first reps in training camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nahshon Wright's going to continue to be a part of the game plan, but at the same time, the Bears are going to want to know what they have in Tyreek Stevenson. They want to see if he can grow, get better in this defense, especially under Dennis Allen. I think you're going to see both of them on the field at some point, even when Jalen Johnson gets back. But, I mean, guys, like I said, Nahshon has taken advantage of some poor quarterback play. I mean, the Bears have played absolutely atrocious quarterbacks for the last, 8 weeks we're going on now. J.J. McCarthy, I mean, even guys like Jackson Dart have been playing well. They're rookies. They're going to have their struggles, and he's taken advantage of it. But, I mean, when you start playing guys like Jalen Hurts, and I don't know if people are still on the Jordan Love train. Obviously, I'm not. But we'll see what Nahshon Wright looks like against better competition. And if it starts to look bad, the good news is you have Tyreek Stevenson sitting on the bench and wait. So,
I mean, is anybody else licking their chops at Nahshon Wright playing against Jordan Love?
Yeah, I mean, Mason Rudolph, J.J. McCarthy, Russell
Jordan
Wilson,
Love
Jackson
throws
Dart,
the
Joe
damn ball
Flacco,
away.
Tyler Huntley, Spencer Rattler. I mean,
That's
you
the
guys
list
remember,
of quarterbacks the Bears have played the last 6 games.
and football fans tend to have this mentality, like, what have you done for me lately? Joe Flacco threw for 470 yards on Nashawn Wright and Nick McLeod and Tyreek Stevenson. So I mean, there's definitely,
and they didn't look good in that game.
And you guys,
no,
and the Steelers scored 21 points in the first half. They scored 21 points.
Yeah, they didn't punt.
So it's not like the Bears have the shutdown secondary, and there's no way they could ever possibly try to throw a wrench into the gears and mess this all up. I mean, they're giving up they're one of the highest passing yards, easiest teams to pass on in the NFL right now. One of the easiest teams in the NFL. If Nashawn Wright, this is what Nashawn Wright to me, guys, is very much like Travion Diggs. He has played. He'll give up a 30-yard pass or have a 50-yard pass interference call, and then the next play he'll have an interception. So I guess at the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want a shutdown corner like Jalen Johnson, who's not going to get a bunch of interceptions because they're not going to throw the ball his way because they're afraid of throwing the ball to the side.
That was just the last 6 games.
It's a bend don't break.
Yeah,
Nashawn Wright is kind of the epitome of what this defense is, man. He's a bend don't break kind of guy.
I could not bench him right now. I could not. If Jalen Johnson comes back, I'm keeping Nashawn on the other side of him. I am, and if it's a rotation, then that makes sense, and that's fine. But my guy that I want on those big snaps, man, is going to be Nashawn Wright. I mean, I don't think there's space for 4 cornerbacks out there the way Dennis Allen wants to run defense pretty consistently. So, I mean, Nashawn Wright needs to be that guy for me, and I would give him another contract and bring him back. I don't know what he's going to command on the open market if he leads the league in interceptions, guys. Like, if a team's willing to pay him a multi-year deal because of this, or is this just a benefit of him playing in this defense?
Or is it flash in the pan, guys?
Exactly.
Trayvon Diggs
had what, 9 interceptions. Flashes and pans all the time, Kyle.
Trayvon Diggs had 9 interceptions his rookie season. I think since that season and 3 seasons since then, he said 3.
I think we can't. I mean, we got to give Al Harris some credit here, guys.
Al Harris
has improved this player clearly from being a practice squad player a year ago to a guy who's leading the league in interceptions. Al Harris has made a huge impact on this football player, and I think that's something that he can use towards his future, not just forget about if he goes somewhere else.
I don't think us not mentioning his name is saying that he shouldn't be credit for. I mean, I think the whole coaching staff deserves credit. But Flex Diggs says the Bengals also have all their money tied up in wide receivers. I mean, Flex Diggs, if you go to the playoffs, you play teams like the Rams, and you're playing Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. You're really going to start to see what Nashawn Wright is made of. And I mean, look at Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson.
I think Harris is close to being
all
a DC.
These teams are going to have really good wide receivers. So, Cliff, I mean, my recommendation to the Bears and this coaching staff would be, if both those guys are healthy, if all the corners on the Chicago Bears are healthy, play the hot hand, play Nashawn Wright, play Tyreek Stevenson.
Play them all. I agree with you,
the best chance to win.
Don't take any of them off the field.
That's the one that should be playing in the playoffs. I mean,
they're all very good.
But you're not going to have 4 cornerbacks on the field if Kyler Gordon's healthy.
I mean, get them in. Like, if you think you're playing a run, Tyreek Stevenson. I don't know how
you play the hot hand at cornerback, guys. That doesn't make much sense.
Tyreek Stevenson being in on run plays where an offense is probably going to approach with a run. I would have Tyreek Stevenson. Nashawn Wright is not the best run defender. The
interceptions are huge, right? Absolutely massive. Take away the interceptor. Let's say instead of 5, say he has 3. Do you guys like to play Nashawn Wright?
Nashawn Wright has been up and down this season. He's had some games where he has gotten beat, and even on some of those interceptions,
a lot.
The one against Jordan Addison, he was beat badly, and J.J. McCarthy made a terrible throw, and he got that interception. But there's something to be said about him getting there and it getting done. We got to see how he plays against these quarterbacks. Just like this football team, Nashawn Wright's kind of career trajectory is going to be determined by these last 6 games that the Bears have, right? You got to make sure that you're balling out against better quarterbacks. As you said, we got Jalen Hurts, we got Jordan Love, we got Jared Goff, we got Brock Purdy, right? There's going to be quarterbacks that are going to be able to test you with the deep ball more. All I'm saying is that given what I've seen up to this point, I am putting Tyreek on the bench based on what I've seen Nashawn Wright do, because I want to see if he can continue to do it against these guys and find out if I do need to pay this guy and how much I actually would make sense to pay him. Because Kyle, you said flash in the pan guys get paid. Diggs got paid. Like, these guys will get paid on these stats because the turnover is an important thing in the NFL.
The problem is, if you ask the Cowboys today, they'd tell you they probably made a mistake by paying Trayvon Diggs because he's been absolutely horrendous since the day since.
Yeah, no doubt. But that doesn't change the fact
that you got to be very careful, right? And I mean, if your plan is to bench Tyreek Stevenson and continue to play Nashawn Wright, and the Nashawn Wright becomes a free agent to the offseason, you don't want to pay him. What are you doing with Tyreek Stevenson now? Did you just tell him you're not going to be a starter on the Chicago Bears for the rest of your
basically? And then
you got to draft
money out to him.
Or Zay Frazier?
There's a lot to be seen. I just think it's it's probably one of the two most interesting things to talk about in terms of this Bears roster right now, because Nahshon Wright has been performing way above his head.
Guys, he had a phenomenal game, and it's not just the interception.
He was the best player in that game.
People want to keep talking about the interception. Nahshon Wright was great at the line of scrimmage. I mean, he was making huge tackles.
That's what I was saying. Yes, he was up there. He was in there. He was sticking his head in there.
He's improved.
He was getting in the middle of the line, You'd see him running in the middle of the line, and couldn't even see who tackled the running back.
Guys,
and they'd be
Cliff,
Nahshon Wright. He was great. He had a great game.
Let's get to some of these comments.
His best game of the season, for sure.
Yes, he did, 100%. And hopefully that trajectory continues. Let's get to some of these comments real quick. Cliff says, "How about Stevenson at safety?" I don't know how I feel about that.
I think your safeties are playing well enough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need to. I think Stevenson could play safety, Cliff. I'm not trying to dog on you. I just think that Kevin Byard's playing out of his mind, and
Brisker's playing still really doing well too. He made the play that won the game.
Brisker's still doing what he's always done well.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Tyreek playing safety. I guess he's capable of it, but I don't know if he has the size that I want.
I'm not a huge fan of moving players out.
But he's aggressive.
You guys know that. I've talked about that many times on this podcast. If guys are excelling at certain positions, they just keep them at their position. I mean, if you drafted a guy like Tyreek Stevenson in the second round to be a cornerback, and then 2 years into his career, you're like, hey, maybe we can move him to safety. Just admit that it was a bad pick. Missed.
Scottish says Harris will be a DC next season. I agree with you. I think Harris could have been I think Harris could have been a defensive coordinator already. And I mean, here's a question I had for you guys. And I'll just throw it out here. Sean, you go first since you're coming in. I just want to say hi. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
What up?
What up? This is something I was thinking about, and it might be way out there, but like Dennis Allen has been performing admirably considering all of these injuries. The way he's pulling performance out of this defense situationally, one of the best teams in the league on third down, the best team in the league in terms of takeaways. What if this guy gets another coaching opportunity in the NFL? There's some head coaching jobs that are going to be coming open. Obviously, we know of a few already at this point. What if that happens? Are you good with Al Harris just stepping right into that DC role for the Chicago Bears? Is this a crazy thing that I'm saying out loud right now?
I mean, I not to like dodge the question, but I think there's a very strong argument to be made that Al Harris will have higher consideration than Dennis Allen. I mean, Dennis Allen's
for a head coach.
Yeah, for 100%. Or at least,
all right, Sean, I was throwing it to you.
Hey, hold on. I'll be right back, guys. My computer's acting up.
No worries. Thank you, bud.
I don't know, man. I feel like Dennis Allen is kind of run its course, right? He's had 2 tries.
That's why I'm asking.
I think Dennis Allen right now, if I were Dennis Allen, me personally, he's in a very good spot. I think he's on a team where he's going to look good, and this team's going to succeed, and maybe even win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years. If I'm Dennis Allen, I'm staying right where I'm at. Not just me personally. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe somebody.
No, he might be in the perfect role.
Coaching job.
He might be in the perfect role. All I'm saying is you just never know. That a lot of these head coaches get recycled over and over again in the NFL, and Dennis Allen should be impressing people right now with what he's doing from my perspective.
If he was taken off this team to become a head coach somewhere, yes, Al Harris would be the first person.
It's a completely off the wall thought. I'm throwing it out there.
My only rebuttal.
I think Al Harris, his attitude is infectious. That's good.
My only rebuttal to the Dennis Allen thing is just Dennis Allen's been a really good defensive coordinator that impressed people enough to be given a job as a head coach. I mean, this has happened. What he's doing here now as a defensive coordinator has happened to Dennis Allen before, and he reaped the benefits of his, reward.
Hey,
but
James,
he failed. So I don't like
twice.
If you're looking at Dennis Allen right now as such a good defensive coordinator, he could possibly be your next head coach. Aren't you just looking at the body of work? It didn't work. I don't know that.
But this defense in Chicago, Brandon, these guys fucking love Dennis Allen. They would fall on a grenade.
I think his defense is always good.
So like that's a big deal.
Even when he was a head coach, I thought his defense was pretty darn good. When he was a defensive coordinator for New Orleans, I thought his defense was pretty darn good. He just doesn't seem to be able to manage it all, man. He doesn't run a team. He's missing the things. He's missing the things that like Matt Eberflus misses, man. He's missing.
Let's let Sean chime in on this, and then we'll get to this comment from James. Sean,
what was the question?
I mean, again, in a crazy, bizarro world, Dennis Allen gets a head coaching job this season because of what he's done. The fact that he's rallied this defense around him in such a big way. Al Harris, is that your defensive coordinator?
I would at least give him an interview and a crack. I mean, I think he's earned it. His track record is pretty good.
I wouldn't interview anyone else.
I mean, I wouldn't
I mean,
say I
you
would
want to look internally for sure, dude.
Well,
I would not
look
trade Jalen
internally,
Johnson
but
and keep. I can tell you that.
Go ahead, Sean.
I would also take a look at what else is out there. There could be another defensive guru out there that is very similar to what Dennis Allen's doing. Who knows?
Well, I was thinking of like a head coach, a defensive head coach that might be fired this year that become a coordinator again. But
I don't think Dennis Allen's getting another head coaching job anytime soon.
You guys are proud again, acknowledging 100% that's crazy. But at the same time, I do love the way
I would be okay with Harris.
Rallies around Dennis Allen.
I wouldn't be
okay with Harris.
I wouldn't be pissed.
I know, Dustin, that you wanted Harris as a DC
James,
like
this
2
is his
years
first
ago.
major injury.
I wanted Harris as the DC when they retained Matt Eberflus.
Yeah,
2 years ago.
I remember you pounding the table
when they went to the bum from Buffalo. What the hell was his name? The defensive line coach from Buffalo.
Allen something.
I don't know if that was his name. Do you guys remember who our defensive coordinator was last year?
The guy who got let go because of weird shit.
Williams.
No, it wasn't him. And not Alan Williams. It was last year. Alan Williams was the year before that. Last year it was what's his face from Buffalo they hired on. Matt Eberflus called the
he was
play.
Matt Eberflus's assistant.
King.
We don't
help us out, chat. Help us out, chat.
I'm sure it's in there.
Which crappy coach was coaching the defense last year?
Eric Washington.
Eric Washington. Yeah, that's what.
Nice,
okay,
Dante.
let's see a comment from James because this is kind of fun. I would trade Jalen Johnson and keep Wright because we're having this Nahshon Wright conversation, Sean. And does he stay the starter when Jalen comes back?
Well, and
James is chiming in with this.
Dustin,
I think that's a little.
He followed it up. He said, "Well, there's no reason to keep a high-paid CB if you will play only half of a season." But this is the first really major injury that Jalen Johnson has sustained in his career. I mean,
and I think
if you play long enough,
the Bears
in the
kind
NFL,
of hated in the injury. To be
outside
honest,
of the Joe Toonies of the world, the polar bears, the guys who could play football every day for the rest of their life and seem like it never going to get injured. I mean, almost every single player in the NFL has a major injury at some point in their career, right? Even Tom Brady missed an entire season with a torn ACL. I mean, it's gonna eventually happen.
Johnson
it's a physical game.
Come back.
You put yourself in harm's way for long enough. Sooner or later, you're gonna get nipped. I understand Jalen Johnson's injury was due to working out, but Jalen Johnson, for the most part, has been a pretty damn healthy player in the NFL.
And he shouldn't have come back.
Thinks it's wild.
He should not have come back.
No, he came back too early, and they shouldn't have let him. But yeah, I'm not trading Jalen Johnson. I'll say that, James.
I think Jalen Johnson might still be the best Chicago Bear.
Yeah, we got to see him on the field. Let's see him be a part of this team before we start talking about trading.
This guy's if he doesn't like get riddled with injuries for the remainder of his career, he's a Hall of Famer. You're talking about a Hall of Fame player.
He's the closest thing to Darrelle Revis.
If he plays at the level he's played at the last 2 seasons,
corners, he's
for the next few years,
on the Bears.
He will be one of the top 3 corners in the NFL. And he's potentially a Hall of Famer, 100%. The guy's numbers
he was an All-Pro last year, right?
Quarterbacks throw like a 17% completion percentage against the guy. I mean, this is pretty ungodly.
JJ an All-Pro last year, right?
I do believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer yet at this point, but
I said if he continues to play at the pace.
Well, on top of this, why are we talking about getting rid of Jalen Johnson and not replacing Tyreek Stevenson?
Because James,
that's where we were, Sean. That's where we were.
James threw that in the chat, so we're just giving the chat some love. You know, that's what we do.
I love the chat, but yeah, that's just never going to happen because that would be asinine.
I agree. Yeah,
I think Jalen Johnson is, and I think you guys, you got to be aware. And I'm not saying everybody here is hating on him because I know he gets paid a lot of money, but he's actually paid substantially less than he probably could be. And I think when you're talking about the best corners in the league, the Pat Surtains and the Witherspoons, I think Jalen's got to be in those conversations, man. Jalen's a guy who just doesn't get thrown. And people are like, well, he doesn't take the ball away. Well, you know why? Because nobody wants to throw at him.
Guys, let's hear which.
That's an element that no other player on your defense provides.
Yeah, Sean, what do you think of the game?
Here's Sean's take on the Nation. First, the Nahshon Wright thing, since we were talking about that, that's topical. The Nahshon Wright or Tyreek, who are you going with if you got to choose on the opposite side of Jalen Johnson?
I think based on what I've seen, I think Nahshon Wright's are earned a shot. But
I'm with you.
I also say that there's times when Tyreek Stevenson's on the field that he's doing things that other players can't do. I think it's have the flexibility.
Yeah, you mean like covering the best receiver?
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, Nahshon Wright, and I know we don't look at PPF too much, but I mean, overall, his numbers look good. What we see on the screen, he's a 56 overall. A little bit.
PFF does not like him.
Yeah, PFF does not.
Yeah, I don't like PFF though.
I mean, his numbers are not bad for 10 starts. He's averaging 1 pass defense per game. He's got an interception in half of them.
He's leading the league in interceptions. My argument, Sean, was that you cannot take that turnover potential off of your lineup right now because this team is winning off a turnover.
Well, and not only
and
that,
Tyreek's not getting them. Tyreek's not.
For me,
and it is something he's doing.
Well, for me, it's an evolution because I do think, and I wrote you guys this in our group text earlier, I think the time he spent in the practice squad going one-on-one against Justin Jefferson for an entire season has done him wonders. I mean, he's doing that pick yesterday. Should have had 2 outstanding top 5 picks. I mean, the one was unbelievable. I still don't know how he came down and bounced with that pick.
That play was one of the best catches by any player. By any player.
Yeah.
Like, receivers don't catch balls like that, dude.
No, but it was really funny. After the game, they asked him how he pulled that off, and I didn't know this about him, but he said he's actually has a wide receiver background. He's been transformed.
I believe
it.
TP. Don't have to convince me.
TP. So that was pretty awesome to hear. But no, if I was gonna do anyone, I would definitely slip Tyreek Stevenson down just a little bit down the depth chart. I still like the possibility of the flexibility when Kyler Gordon comes back of him being a nickel / safety. And I think you also have that flexibility with CJ Gardner. I really think CJ Gardner could be a hybrid linebacker, safety, corner.
Tyreek can do that same thing too. Cliff threw out the Tyreek at safety thing, and Tyreek can play the nickel, I think, even a little better than he would at safety. And he can do a lot of those same things that CJ Gardner Johnson does. And I think Relentless Mikey said it best, guys. It's a good problem to have. If all these guys start coming back down the stretch run while the Bears are 8-3 and going into the toughest part of their schedule, you're going to have a lot of guys to work with. And Kyle said that rotation can be really good. I just want to say this. I think I would want to see Nahshon, just for Sean to hear it and everybody else to hear it again. I want to see Nahshon because I want to see if I want to pay this guy to keep him. I want to see what he does down this stretch. That matters to me because Tyreek's still on his rookie contract. He got one more year with that. And I mean, you can make a decision, but Nahshon is gone this year. And so I want to see what he has.
Well,
and Nahshon Wright is more of a ball hawk, guys, but Stevenson is better in coverage than Nahshon.
He's aggressive. Nahshon Wright is aggressive. He's going to try to make a play on the ball, even if he
even if he gives something. Tyreek Stevenson's not going to get as many opportunities to pick off passes because the ball's not thrown as much as it's thrown in Nahshon.
It's funny how that changed from last year to this year, but Tyreek is still allowing an awful lot of yards this year in coverage.
Not as many as Nahshon Wright.
When I talked about how good Jalen Johnson is,
he's not getting the interceptions
in comparison to some of the best corners in the league. An element, guys, that no player on this defense will ever provide besides Jalen Johnson is when he's playing on the best receiver on the opposing team. The quarterback's going to go there. The quarterback's going to throw the ball less to that player, and that is huge. You cannot understate the advantage that gives a defense. When Jalen Johnson's like, hey, don't worry about this guy. I'm just going to lock him down, take care of the rest. And you're taking guys like Justin Jefferson out of football games. I mean, it's a big deal to get him back.
That advantage didn't show itself last year, Brandon, because Tyreek was getting cooked all year because no one was throwing to Jalen Johnson. At least Nahshon Wright is going to get the turnover.
I imagine what Jalen Johnson's going to provide when he comes back to this team.
Yeah, and that's why I want to see Nahshon Wright on the other side. Yeah. And I love Tyreek, guys. I really do.
Yeah, then Dustin, right. Then you're funneling the opposing quarterback's passes to a ball hawk. You know, if Jalen Johnson's on the other side, it's like, hey, throw to that guy. Good luck. And that guy's taking the ball away at the higher rate than anybody in the league. So
I still think Nahshon Wright is in superstar status. I think he's a good corner.
No, I think
he's earning the right to be called a good corner.
He's aggressive, and he's one of the only players on this football team that is going. He's very, very wise in cutting routes off, watching the pass, and getting in the way. Where the other guys on this team are just better at locking their guys down. Nahshon Wright gets beat, but he has an ability to undercut routes, and he's long. He's a very long player, and he takes the ball away.
That's what interception leaders do, man. It's funny. It's funny the evolution of this Nahshon Wright thing through the season, because I was in Wisconsin in October with my brother, and he's a Bears fan, and I was like, what do you think of Nahshon Wright? He's been playing pretty well. I thought, and he was like, nah, he sucks. We got to replace him immediately. And I was like, I guess we got to replace Nahshon Wright immediately. But like, he's been doing all these things and getting better every week, and I really just want to see it continue to happen.
And
I feel like we talked about this a lot.
Doing a lot for him, man.
100. Al Harris is doing a lot for all these guys, and I think he's going to continue to. I hope he can stay on this team in some capacity. To be honest, where do you guys want to go next?
I mean, Sean, you didn't get a chance to talk about the game, man.
There we go.
Where'd you go?
Oh, well, I liked it. I like the outcome.
Yeah, that's every week now at this point.
Well, sometimes I can pat myself on the back. I was pretty spot on with what I thought was going to happen in our pre-show on Sunday. I still, I'm going to get beat up for it, but I know everyone thinks Caleb was so perfect, but Caleb still left a lot to be desired on the field for me. I understand we're winning. He has 7 wins now, throwing under 50% completion percentage in games. I thought he was decisive yesterday, but I thought his ball placement might have been some of the worst all season.
Under 60, right? Not 50.
Under 60.
I was like, that's remarkable too.
Under 60. Sorry. In that first half, he was off target on 28% of his throws, which is not a great mark. He was, at 2 for 7 on passes thrown and 10 yards or more for 39 yards with 4 off target throws. Every week we're talking about the same thing. And he came out. It was a tale of two halves with Caleb. In the first half, I thought he wasn't very consistent good. The second half, he came out and he burned it. And he came out, he was a lot more consistent. His
kind of his theme at this point.
Half was a lot higher, but his
ball growth within a game.
Well, his ball placement was still bad. In the second half, he was still throwing behind receivers. Roma Dunze had a catch behind his back. Colston
Luther Burden, he put one behind him when he was rushing the pocket.
And we got 3 tutties. 3 tutties are great, man. But the defense is going to see a lot different looks this weekend in Philadelphia. And as I just said, I thought he looked a lot better in the second half, and I thought he was a lot more decisive and on target. But as I said, his ball placement this past Sunday was probably one of the worst it's been all season.
Well, no disrespect to Dante, but Dustin talked earlier about the article where he says when you push the ball downfield, your complete percentage will suffer. Well, I mean, Dante, Ben Johnson is the one who gave the goal of 70% completion percentage. So you can't be like, well, Ben Johnson just is implementing an offense where he doesn't expect a high completion percentage.
Lofty goal.
Right, and that's fine. And that is a lofty goal, but you can't just say, well, he's not expecting a high completion percentage when he's the one who came out before the season and said, I want to get Caleb and to be one of the highest completion percentages in the NFL. Obviously, he thought that Caleb completion percentage would increase as the season goes on. He's just struggling to hit these throws, and that's okay, guys. I'm not saying that it's the end of the world and Caleb's going to get better as the season goes on. He's going to get better next season as well. But it's at the end of the day, guys, like we're here to evaluate the play of the Chicago Bears. You watch the game, right? So, I mean, he missed throws. You have to come on here and say that. You can't not say it just because you love Caleb Williams. He is missing throws. He's got a 59 completion percentage on the season. It's lower than it was under Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus. I mean, there's definitely a conversation to be had, and we all year we've been like he's beating this team, he's beating this team. Well, we're about to play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, but I have to say this. Okay,
well, hold on, really quick, Brandon. I just want to say this, guys. I understand the Bears are 8-3, and I'm glad we're winning. And you could say we're over scrutinizing Caleb Williams, but if you guys want to watch the game and still not notice the flaws that are happening in his game that haven't improved from week 1 to week 12, yes, things have improved. I'm not saying he's completely a raw product, but ball placement and accuracy continue to be an issue. Those things come back. When your ball placement is off and your accuracy is off, those lead to better teams to tip balls and turnovers, takeaways. I'm just pointing it out because when these things start happening, don't say, oh, well, we didn't see this coming. You should, because bad ball placement leads to tip balls. Tip balls lead to takeaways and turnovers that lead to good field position for the opposite team. These are things that need to improve. Well, we're winning, which I'm happy for.
Okay, now, Brandon, go ahead.
Well, I mean, the first thing you said, man, and your analysis of the Bears Steelers game was really just a Caleb analysis, but the first thing you said is we do this every week, and I agree we should. We have to talk about the throws that he's not making. We never talk about the growth, ever. We never talk about our quarterback.
Just talked about the growth. I thought his decision making was the best he's been all year, dude.
Every week, and he got better in the game itself. From first to fourth quarter, he became a better player.
It's getting to the point where
while understanding the defense.
It's getting to the point where if anybody evaluates Caleb by what
Guys,
they saw on the field,
you
they're
guys,
becoming Caleb haters, guys. Like,
okay, but we just let you
case.
guys talk
That's not the case.
at length about Caleb.
I didn't talk at length about anything.
You guys
20
have
seconds.
you guys have both gone on about Caleb. Can we get another side of that? Because I see what you're saying, and
I just don't want to.
We do have to talk about it. We do. We have to talk about the bad things. We do.
I don't want to sit here and be like, "Oh, Sean thinks Caleb sucks," because that's not what I'm saying.
No, nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that you think he sucks.
What I see and say it to people, then hey, I guess I'm not doing my job. I have seen good things. I've said I've seen good things, but you can't just talk about the good and not the bad, because there was a lot of bad in that game.
And people are going to poke at you, Sean. The chat's going to poke at you. But listen, and we do have to talk about the things Caleb doesn't do. We do. We absolutely do. This guy was a first overall pick. He's with probably the best play caller in the NFL, who schemes probably the most wide open offense that you possibly can. And Caleb needs to start taking more advantage of that, without a doubt. The first thing I texted you guys, I didn't see the game. The first thing I texted you guys when I looked at the box score was the Bears won another game with a bad completion percentage. So it's like, to me, and you might be correct in saying this, and I don't want to talk about it till the Bears actually play these football games. It might impact losing the game.
Cliff.
Might impact losing the game against good football teams, but it hasn't yet. They haven't lost games because of Caleb Williams' completion percentage. And I want to say this, man. I think that it's important with this kid who we've been waiting for all year to see what happens with him and Ben Johnson. Guys, there are things blossoming in front of our eyes that we need. I mean, every week I think Caleb looks improved. I do. And I'm not doing this through bias. I think that every week that he comes out, he looks to me like he's a little more in command of what, and I think his pre-snap stuff is getting pretty impressive too. Caleb is starting to identify a defense pretty damn well.
Impressive. It's been impressive
since his rookie season. But you could see in that game I just talked about, from first quarter to fourth quarter, he was doing a much better job at identifying, especially pass rush. But the play, man,
you just pulled a Chris Collinsworth. He said pass rush.
There's so many things this guy does, man, where I just don't think there's another quarterback in the league that's doing it. I mean, he just does things that the mechanics and stuff, man, that you want to see improve. I get it. But the things that he's doing well, nobody else can do. I believe that firmly.
Caleb has the best sack avoidance rate in the NFL this year. He's taken the sack the least of anyone, and he's been pressured an awful lot.
And it's winning football games. I believe
Caleb played really well yesterday in my mind. There were some misses, Sean, and I pointed them out in the text chain.
And they were bad. They were bad.
But the hits were really good.
You want to know, Dustin, what bothers me the most? Those misses. They go look at them. Watch the all-22s, guys. These are clean.
Yeah, the Burden one was bad.
He wasn't under pressure. He was under pressure the least that he's been all season.
That should be concerning.
It is, until you start looking at how he operated in the red zone, to me, when he was throwing with anticipation.
His best week.
100%. And that's what this team needs. This team needs to score when they get in the red zone.
And one of his areas which he needed to.
One fact that Scottish Bear pointed out that needs to be mentioned when you talk about Caleb's game yesterday, the run game never got going. And that's the first time in a while that has happened. He put up 3 touchdowns. He got scores when they were needed. And he was efficient, quick, with decision making. Like you said, Sean, his decision making was the best, and you're saying that because of how he operated in the red zone, which is what I wanted to see. And if you look at his pass chart here, let's just throw that out there. I mean, a lot of middle of the field stuff, which is what Ben Johnson pointed out in his press conference, is where a lot of quarterbacks are afraid to go with the ball. Caleb has velocity. Caleb made great decisions, and he hit the passes when he needed to. What I find to be most impressive about Caleb up to this point is what Brandon just said, the growth. And when you take what he can do in terms of avoiding the pressure and getting out of the pocket and mix it with this structure and timing stuff that he's starting to implement, Sean, you said you saw it. What is it going to turn into? Of course, there's things he needs to get better at. There's things every quarterback needs to get better at, especially young quarterbacks. But if you look at what Caleb's doing in Ben Johnson's offense, there is improvement week to week, and there is a lot of stuff to be excited about, because once he has a game where he puts all that together, it's just going to start rolling. Remember, here's one more thing to point out, guys. Josh Allen, his first 2 starts, and I'm sure we've all talked about this before, right? his first 28 starts, his first 2 years in the league, basically, right? 57.5% completion percentage, 192.9 yards, 6.7 yards per attempt, 32 to 21 touchdown to interception ratio. Caleb's is 3.6 to 1, 36 to 10 in terms of touchdown to interception ratio. He is a better passer now at this point in his career than Josh Allen was at that same point in his career. And look where Josh Allen went. He took that year 3 leap. Caleb Williams is working his way towards that. Ben Johnson is helping him do that. I understand he throws to wide open receivers basically more than anyone in the NFL and to covered receivers basically less than anyone in the NFL, but that's by design in this offense. And Caleb Williams is just going to continue to get better in working in unison with Ben Johnson. And the little column on the right there, the second 28 starts for Caleb, that's all projected stats.
That's projected.
Yeah. But if you look at what Josh Allen did,
you throw those 70 touchdowns to 10 picks.
You extract Josh Allen went 63 to 21, and he was 32 to 21. Kyle,
that ain't happening, bro.
Well, why? Tell me why.
Because it's almost physically impossible in the NFL to throw 70
over.
touchdowns to 10 picks and 28 starts. That's not going to happen. That's not the disrespect to
Josh
Caleb
Allen
Williams.
threw 30.
If it's
low rate. 60 to 25, I'm still happy. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm going to say this, guys. Get used to Caleb Williams being a guy who doesn't throw picks. That's going to be a thing for his career. He is not a,
and you know what? That's fine. That's
over.
fine. That's fine to say. He should have had. He should have had 3 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
if the Steelers didn't suck ass.
I don't know if
watch the game again. There was 3 that were in Steelers' hands that they dropped.
See, this is Sean. This is kind of my point. We're talking about something that Caleb we're talking about something Caleb is historically good at. He broke the record for a rookie for most passes without an interception. You're telling me he should have had 3.
I like the comment.
I think you're just trying to find there's a negative to be.
Shit.
But
you just don't like to point out the obvious. The obvious.
Well, the guy doesn't turn the ball over.
Steelers' hands, and they should.
That's the obvious. The obvious, Sean,
the guy
is
doesn't throw picks. He should have thrown 3 picks.
He should have, but he didn't. The guy doesn't throw
because
picks.
The Steelers dropped them, not because of his accuracy, dude.
Because Caleb's turnover rate needs to really improve.
Oh, he is 36 to 10.
Here's the fucking problem,
first 28
bro.
Starts, guys.
You will only talk about the good. You refuse to talk about the bad.
No, I think we just do it every week. We talk about the bad every week. Every week we do this.
Yeah, but the interceptions didn't happen, and the Bears found a way to win the game, and Caleb was a big part of that.
Most depressing post-victory show.
Guys, chill the fuck out. We're having a conversation, all right? Everybody can have a conversation. We can have some differing views and some differing opinions. Caleb needs to get better at things. My whole point was, and hopefully, Sean, you heard it because you didn't respond to it, but what I'm saying is you see him getting better, and you imagine what this can be in the future. This is his first year in Ben Johnson's offense, his second year in the NFL. Can we acknowledge that?
I understand this. I write about it every freaking week, guys. I understand this, but I can't stand when you can't sit here and say, yeah, he should have thrown 3 picks if the Steelers didn't drop him. The accuracy has to be better. You want to sit here and be in denial? That's fine. Don't be in denial. The guy's accuracy
has to be better. Then let's make a should have thrown pick stat
with sure-handed defenders.
Well,
like
you can burn it. It's called completion percentage.
Here, let me say this.
Should have thrown pick stats.
I'm not going to say anything about Caleb's turnover rate. It's incredible. It's one of the best I've ever seen in NFL history. He broke the record.
Did I not say that? I'm not saying anything against that, Brandon.
Let me interject with something.
You just said the guy doesn't throw picks. He should have thrown 3 yesterday. They were in Steelers' hands.
I don't evaluate games on should-haves, man. Should-haves don't matter to me.
Well, listen, it does show something in terms of Caleb's process and his mechanics, and he needs to get better. And there's receivers need to get better. There was a few different areas where the Bears could have been better to get this passing game going. Let me say this to kind of make Sean's point, because this Friday you're playing the goddamn Eagles. Quinion Mitchell, this is from Clay Harbor on X. Quinion Mitchell has forced the highest tight window percentage in the NFL, 53.1%, and allowed the fewest yards of separation at 1.3. Of players with at least 20 downfield targets. Cooper DeJean has the most coverage snaps, 368 among cornerbacks, without allowing a touchdown in coverage. You are about to play a really good Eagles secondary. So yes, if Caleb plays that way and makes some of those mistakes he made yesterday against this Eagles defense, I do think some of those do turn into interceptions. So that is the point that
probably
Sean
not
is
by
making.
Cooper DeJean, who just had his first.
That is the point. That's his first of the season.
Of any regular
he had one of the
season
Super Bowl.
game.
Yeah. Cooper DeJean is
his
good
first
player.
in any regular season game, which he's played like
my only point is I'm trying to bring us together here a little bit, because Caleb is performing well and he is getting better, and I am all for what I see Caleb being. And it was thrown in the chat, and I said it before. This might just be what Caleb is, and this offense just might be what it is. And if we keep winning games, then that works, and that's okay. But I do believe that this is just the beginning. It's going to get better. But yes, down this stretch, Sean, if Caleb makes some of those same mistakes he made on Sunday, we are going to lose games because of it. And Brandon, that's a fact. That is. But it doesn't mean that Caleb is not performing well.
It's not.
I didn't say Caleb isn't performing well, dude. I never said that.
If you go look at the, if you go,
Nobody said you said that. Nobody said you said that.
If you go,
Or was it the chat? I didn't see a chat.
if you go look at the MGM odds or the FanDuel odds or DraftKings odds for the Bears to win the Super Bowl, they're 55-1. They're behind teams like the Texans. I mean, teams that are not good football teams, guys. And the reason that is because of the play of Caleb Williams and inconsistency.
And the 28 points per game allowed.
Caleb Williams had looked like Matthew Stafford for the last 4 weeks. If he looked like Matthew Stafford did for the last 4 weeks, he threw 23 touchdowns and 0 picks. The Bears would not be 55-1 to win the Super Bowl. They'd be in the top 5. A team that's 8-3. They'd be in the top 5.
Kyle, they're one of the worst defenses in the NFL statistically.
In Bears history.
Allowing yards.
Dustin, the Texans are the worst offense in the NFL statistically.
Yeah, but
they are the worst offense
generally.
in the NFL. They are
defense that generally travels and plays
the
better and
are one of the most
translates to wins.
teams in the NFL on defense. One of the most because they're actually the worst in the NFL against wide receivers. The Colts are dead last in the NFL.
Yeah, and the Colts are not going. The Colts are not up there in odds.
You think
the Bears, but they're not.
You think the NFL world doesn't believe the Bears are legit because of Caleb Williams?
Eagles, Chiefs, Colts. That's the top 4.
No, I don't think people think
you think the Bears' odds are lower because of Caleb Williams.
I think if Caleb Williams looked like Matthew Stafford has the last 4 weeks, their odds
Caleb Williams is winning football games through magic.
This offense is winning.
I agree with Sean. Like you guys, we are Bears fans. We're here to criticize everything on the field, right? When we just talked about Nahshon Wright, we said, yeah, he takes away the ball away, but he gives away really big plays, right? He gives up really big plays. But then when it comes to Caleb Williams, if it comes to Caleb Williams and you say, but he does need to improve on his completion percentage. It's like, oh, you hate Caleb. You're a Caleb hater. You don't like him. Give him more time. He's only been in the NFL for dude, relax. Everybody relax, you guys. You could be a Caleb Williams fan. Say he's the best quarterback ever played for the Bears, and he does amazing things on the football field that are just God-given talent. And also say, hey, in the meantime, in the Ravens game, instead of forcing that ball that got picked off and ended the game when Derrick Henry scored a touchdown 2 plays later, dump the ball off to Calvin.
Yeah, but where are your expectations for a second-year quarterback in the first year?
The patience is gone. The patience that fans had for Caleb Williams is gone, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
Hey guys, real quick,
I don't think patience is gone, dude.
I think it is. It's gone.
The expectation is that he wins. And think he's perfect when he's not.
Guys,
Brandon.
Can I ask you a question?
Brandon, you sit here and think he's perfect.
I got to ask.
First, no, I got to say this.
He's perfect.
Guys, first, I got to say this. We have a new member of the chat. I've never seen this person before.
What's going on? Learn.
If we didn't have 500 damn drops, his percentage will be better. It's like I'm watching a Packers broadcast.
I think I want to ask you guys this, Sean, Kyle.
Thank you for
these one-score games.
Like, subscribe, my man, please, and thank you. We appreciate you being here.
These one-score games. Do you think how much credit would you give Caleb? How much credit would you give Caleb to winning these football games?
I mean, I'll say right now, this is a conversation I heard on 670, and I agree with him 100%.
Like if Tyson Bagent is the quarterback, are they winning them?
Right now, the Bears are winning because of Ben Johnson. Next year, this time, the Bears will be winning because of Caleb Williams.
So like Tyson Bagent would be winning those games where he's winning with 48 seconds left. He gets the ball back with 48 seconds. He makes heroic plays, dodges sacks, runs for 25 yards. Would Daniel Jones, would any quarterback other than Caleb Williams be winning these football games?
Yeah, I think
the team is winning.
The whole team. I
mean, Caleb has been
the game against the Giants. The game against the Giants.
He's like, hero ball.
Caleb's coming in. He's going to play his hero ball. Caleb never threw the ball against the Giants in the last drive. He never threw the fucking ball, not once.
Okay, but you're talking about one game.
The ball. It was Devin Duvernay and DeAndre Swift who won the game against the Giants. So
I would love to know what the chat thinks, guys. Is Caleb or Ben Johnson on the final drive of these football games the reason they're winning them?
Well, listen, he also got the touchdown that got them in front. He helped get that drive down the field that got them more points than the other team. And he'll continue to do that.
I'll just say this. I just wish we could have a civilized conversation about his growth and his concerns without everybody saying, you hate Caleb Williams. You're a piece of shit. He's perfect. There's nothing wrong with him. He's the greatest quarterback in the league when none of this is fucking true.
Nobody's ever said that.
No, he's not the greatest quarterback in the league.
You think he walks on water, dude?
He's on his way to becoming one.
I think he's really good.
I cannot mention a flaw to him without you jumping all over me.
No,
he's the number one jumper When you say, "Hey, man, his completion," he could have had 3 picks. Those balls were in their hands. They were dropped by. Oh no, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
just admit what you see.
I mean,
Admit what
Sean,
you see.
Josh Allen could have had 9 picks over the course of the season. I don't give a fuck what he could have had. I don't care. I don't care.
Well,
Again, it's
matter
pointless.
in the
It's a
grand
pointless
scheme of things.
conversation.
It does.
Whatever.
Listen, D-Dog says it's 50-50 Ben and Caleb in terms of who's getting this done when they're on the offensive side of the ball. And I agree with that. And I think it's 50-50 Ben and Caleb going forward, as I've continued to say.
Yeah, but
Ben's got to come
Dennis
to
Allen
Caleb
has a lot to do with
this.
it as well.
This is for sure. The
opportunities
defense came up
games like
huge
this
yesterday,
last year,
Sean. I
and they
gave them
lost.
their roses earlier. I think Dennis Allen should get a game ball as well. The way that they came through, that was
they had the
huge.
same opportunities last year, guys. They lost 7 one-score games. The difference is Ben Johnson. That's the difference between this year and last year. Caleb was here last year. Ben Johnson was not.
Caleb was a rookie in a terrible situation. Now he's a second-year player in a much better situation because of Ben Johnson. These things are not mutually exclusive. They all work together, and they are going towards this team being 8-3.
Just like Caleb having struggles and being a good quarterback in the NFL are not mutually exclusive.
Ben Johnson is having struggles
both
too.
Can be the same. It's true.
I think the point I was just trying to make, man, is that the one thing that Caleb has brought with him to the NFL, no matter how much coach is able to improve him, the one thing he brought here is this incredible ability, this will at the end of a game to put the pressure aside, throw the nerves in the trash, and fucking go out there and win. It's a young player who's doing that. Not only that, but guys, I don't think that if Caleb didn't have such a good, strong ability of doing this, I don't think that they're winning these football games. I think Caleb's ability to create is the difference that's winning them these games. I think it is. I think right now, while you're waiting for the structure, Caleb, I think the hero Caleb is winning football games.
While he's learning how to operate within structure, which he started doing much better yesterday.
That's what I think that's what's happening right now.
I think the whole team is, guys. I don't know. Why is this exclusive to Caleb Williams? You think Colston Loveland, Luke Burden, and Roma Dunze aren't learning how to win football games right now? You think that Darnell Wright and Ozzy Trapilo aren't learning how to win football games right now?
Ozzy Trapilo had a great game yesterday. No, 100%.
That's what all of them are doing.
Of course, but it's going to fall on the quarterback and the coach at the end of the day. You know how that's how that works. But these guys are all playing really well, and they're all playing together. The thing that is best about this team, and I think we got to start getting that quality into 4 stars, is we're all pulling on the same end of the rope. Like they all want the same result, and they don't care how they got it. Like you said, Sean, when you jumped on, I don't care how they got it. It's a win. I like it. It doesn't matter how they got there because they got the win. And Caleb has been a part of that in every situation, guys.
I think if they
and his mistakes haven't cost them the game. His big plays have won them the game.
He's not losing.
That's the way to look at it.
If they lose to Philly and Green Bay and they're sitting at 8-5, I think you guys will have a different reaction to the conversation when Sean brings up struggles with Caleb Williams. I think you guys will have a completely different reaction. That's what I'm saying.
No,
winning makes everything feel better. Everything.
I have a lot of patience for Caleb Williams.
When you start to see those flaws exposed because they're playing much better competition and teams who take advantage of those flaws and teams know what they're doing and are championship caliber football teams that know how to beat average to slightly above average football teams, then the conversations will change completely.
But
it will change completely.
Would you be okay with Caleb being
playoffs? You're playing the Rams, you're playing the Seahawks, you're playing the Eagles.
Yeah, we all know. Would you be okay with that
conversation? Would you be okay if I said in the regular season? Well, you got the chance.
If I said
that's what they're doing every week, though,
and I don't get this, man. I keep getting told this
percentage is getting worse.
I keep getting told this is a team that can't win a Super Bowl, and the expectation for Caleb is to be Jared Goff of last year. But what does it matter if they can't win a Super Bowl? You're telling me Caleb Williams is going to turn into this guy and they're going to go win one, man. So do you have to decide how capable do you think this team is? But let me say this, man. Hold on.
Paired up his God-given talent with the things he's screwing up right now, the completion.
They can now win a Super Bowl.
100%. 100%.
Okay. I don't know why we led with that to begin with for all off season. I was disagreeing with you guys on that the entire time. A team can do anything in any season, but I think that it's also important, man. Caleb's growing, like we've talked about.
Yeah, we all talked about that.
Yes, but Kyle, Sean, are you okay? What if Caleb is not the guy that we want Caleb to be? What if he doesn't reach that potential until
making these plays
the middle of next year? Are you okay with that? What if Caleb becomes your franchise quarterback next season?
That's fine. But in the meantime, Sean and I are still willing to admit it. That's the difference.
As am I. But I think my patience
that's the only difference.
Has not run as thin as yours.
No, I just don't think
that's okay.
Your patience has run thin.
We are evaluating a player on the field, whether he be a Bears player or anybody else, and we come on this podcast and talk about what we saw. What we saw was inconsistencies. That's what we saw. We saw an inconsistent
And you expected
quarterback,
that
and
before the
Bears won
season
game.
began.
The Bears
And you
won the game.
predicted, Kyle, you said
That's
Caleb
what we
would be.
saw.
You said to me
Yeah,
all
that's what we should have
offseason,
expected
this
to
is a
see,
very
Kyle.
slow process. This is going to take a lot of
that's fine,
time.
but how come they're
That's
not
what you
expecting
told
to
me.
see that with Drake May?
He played an
the
ass
fact that
game
Drake,
yesterday.
Guy is leading the
fact that
NFL in
Drake
passing
May-
yards, bro.
And
he
he's leading
threw
the
an
NFL in
egregious
completion
interception.
Completion
percentage.
percentage, yes.
So the fact that
both.
Drake May is performing at that level has accelerated your
No.
timeline. For
So I'm
Caleb
asking
Williams?
you. So why can't you expect?
No,
if
I'm
Drake
asking
May
you.
Good question.
If
No,
Drake
that's a
May
good
can do it,
question.
why can't we expect that out of Caleb Williams?
It's a good question. Answer that question.
I'm not saying that we can't. I'm saying that Caleb is what he is, and I like the results up to this
And that's
point.
fine. But
what you're saying is that Drake
you're
May
saying it's
doing
not
this
fair for a Bears
Should
fan to
escalate
expect
the
him to be
timeline
better,
of
have a
Caleb
better
Williams'
completion
development.
percentage at this point in the season in week 11 than it was week 1. I think it is fair. I think it is.
They're different players, man.
Well,
Listen,
they
they're
are,
different
but
people.
only one was
and
touted
they're
as
in completely
generational
different
talent coming into
offenses
the
too.
league.
And Dustin, say what you just said, because I think that's the best point anyone's made all night. I think you guys are kind of, your
If you're
patience for
comparing
Caleb
him
is
to
growing
Drake
thin
May,
because
who's
of
having
Drake
this,
May.
like we were comparing him to Jaden Daniels last year, and if we're comparing him to Drake May this year, does that accelerate the timeline to a place that
Of
might not be fair
expectations.
for this guy to have the expectations at this point in his
Yeah,
career?
but you guys, we all
this
do
team
it.
is 8-3.
We
This
all
team
do
is
it.
8-3.
We
guys.
all do it. Vernon did it with
I'm-
Darnell Wright. Vernon
I'm
last
just
year was shitting all over Darnell Wright. Now he's the best right tackle in football.
Kyle,
Let's
I'm
go
just
I don't know what
asking-
that has to
Vernon
do
was
with Caleb
shitting all over
Williams.
because of his expectations of a number
I'm just
10 pick.
asking, is
That's
that
why
what's
Vernon was shitting
happening,
all over
Kyle?
him.
Kyle, I'm just asking, is that what's happening? Is that what you're doing? You're comparing him to Drake May, and you're like, well,
To the
why
guys
isn't he doing
drafted
what
in his
Drake
draft
May is
class, yeah,
doing?
he's always going to
Okay.
be compared to Drake
So-
May and Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix and Bonet. Always for the rest of his career.
And
he's gonna be
Drake
compared
May
to those
might
guys.
have a
Always.
down season next year. Drake May might have a down end to this season. He just lost his stud left tackle for the rest of the season, and that offensive line ain't very
Well,
good.
I mean,
we're going to see how these things
And he
play
threw a
out.
bad pick.
We could talk about what might happen. We could spend the next 3 years talking about what might happen for the rest of the season. I don't know. You guys, all I'm saying is for a quarterback who's drafted number 1, he had a 62% completion percentage last year, his rookie season under Shane Waldron and Matt Eberflus. The Bears addressed the offensive line. The Bears added 2 more weapons, and the Bears got the best offensive play caller in the NFL for us not to expect his
And
completion
changed the
percentage to go up
system
a little
entirely,
bit, just
Kyle.
a tiny bit,
And
just
restarted
52
from
to 65.
scratch.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not astronomical.
Yeah,
As a
but you
Bears fan
can't
to
talk about
expect
the
that.
additions they
It's
make without the
ridiculous.
differences they've made changes. It's a whole new system.
Let's look
He's
at this real
starting
quick.
over.
So
Can I-
did Drake May, Brandon. They got a new coach too. And
Okay,
new
but
offensive
Drake
line.
May and Caleb Williams are different people.
Okay,
Good
guys, look at-
Lord.
Can I
Kyle.
say this?
Yes, please, Sean, go ahead.
I'll say as frustrating as it can be, I still have optimism for the future for all you people in the chat who
So
think
do
I'm
I.
giving
So
up
do
on
I.
Caleb Williams.
I just wish it was right now.
No, listen, the talent is obvious. Consistency is the issue. I do believe improvements have incurred in small increments throughout the season. And once
Very
the
small.
accuracy and the easy throws improve, I believe the sky will then be the limit for Caleb Williams. Now, with that being said, we were expecting come week 8, 9, 10, 11, and
Which
12.
is what we were told to
as we're
expect, Sean.
moving in.
70% completion
Correct.
percentage was
This-
the goal. That
we
was
would
the
be
goal.
moving up in that direction. We're still in the stalemate of where we were. I understand we're winning games. We're 8-3.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty 8-3, but it's an 8-3. Okay.
And I do want to say this. Prepare yourselves, Bears fans. Caleb Williams can come out and throw 72% completion against the Eagles, and that might whip the shit out of the Bears. Just prepare yourself for that, because the Bears are not the team that the Bears need to be to beat teams like those, regardless of how Caleb Williams plays football.
And the important thing to
They're a
state
worse
is
team.
that-
So
and
he
the
gets
Bears-
all the credit for the wins, but none of the
No.
blame for the loss.
And the
Is that what you're
important
saying,
thing,
Vernon?
let me piggyback on what he was saying, because the important thing to note is that is not the Bears offense, guys. As Dante pointed out earlier, and I wanted to focus on those stats for a second, Sean, because I think it's important to look at where obviously his completion percentage is at a 59.2, but that is a part of this offense
I'm
taking
so
such
confused.
big chunk plays. They go for the big chunk plays, so you're gonna deal with a lower completion percentage. Last year 62.6, this year 2,452 yards, last year 2,058, this year the 16 touchdowns. Last year, 11, and the quarterback rating is significantly improved. So, do you take a 3% dip in completion percentage, to get the extra 400 yards, to get the extra 5 touchdowns, to get he's been more efficient. He's one of the best quarterbacks under center. He's one of the best quarterbacks out of play action. He's improving in a lot of ways.
You can only compare those numbers if they didn't get a brand new offensive line, 2 brand new weapons, a brand new coach. Like, you can't say that you're seeing phenomenal growth from year 1 to year 2 when they've given him, they've cut 50 excuses off of the arsenal of Caleb.
And you're supposed to set him up to succeed.
I think
but this offense ain't made for him to be a 70% completion. So if you want to hold on to that Ben Johnson thing from the beginning of the season,
I don't understand. Wait, do you guys understand that, Chad?
Rushing yards in football. They have one of the best rush.
V-Dog, this is a new offense to Caleb Williams. This is a brand new offense to Caleb Williams.
I would say this, Dustin. I think at this time next year would be a good time to compare the stats. I do kind of agree with Kyle there that they're a little flawed off of everything that happened last year. I think a better comparison. Yes, obviously we all see growth.
Yeah, and Caleb to hang in the way he did last year.
And I think Ryan Poles said you give a quarterback 3 years. I think Ryan Poles said there's a 3-year evaluation.
FPM has a 3-year evaluation.
35 games, man. It's the standard in the NFL. 35 football games.
So let's wait for that.
You make a decision on your quarterback.
So let's wait.
Hey, and again, Brandon, no one's giving up on him, dude. But
I'm just saying, be more patient with this growth. Be more patient with this growth.
Well, then be more patient with guys like Darnell Wright and all the guys you've shit on for the last 3 years.
Okay, dude.
I mean,
it's true. It's true, Brandon.
What's the difference? What's the
said
difference?
Montez Sweat sucks. You said Darnell Wright sucks.
Oh my
you
God.
said fucking Javon Dexter sucks.
Okay, guys. Next
Zero
subject.
Montez Sweat.
I'm not going to trade receipts. Next subject. You guys said Jaden Daniels was better than Caleb Williams.
How convenient. We bring up guys that we said Burn and be patient with, and you weren't patient, and now it's next subject. How convenient.
Right.
Jaden Daniels was better than Caleb Williams last year, guys. That's what you told me. We wanted Jaden Daniels.
Better than him.
We wanted to draft Jaden Daniels.
He was better than him last year.
How do you feel about that now?
Top 10 pick, and he wasn't playing like a top 10 pick for 2 years.
Let's get it under control a little bit here. Montez Sweat has 6.5 sacks in the last 6 games.
I texted you guys yesterday. He's having a monster year. He's doing exactly what I hoped.
I didn't know that until Brandon
exactly
texted
what we
me.
said he was going to do.
Brandon, I didn't know that until you texted me. He's having a good year, Montez Sweat.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, when I admit that I'm wrong, that never seems to be brought up on a show. But when I am wrong, that's brought up consistently.
Yeah, we're all
Brandon, you weren't patient with 5 Bears that we just named, and you're saying be patient with Caleb.
With a quarterback who's 23 years old. Yeah. Montez Sweat is like 40, bro.
You gave up on Darnell Wright.
Montez Sweat is an old man.
He's one of the best right tackles in football, dude.
You know, I had this thing
He's the best right tackle in football.
I had this thing. He's better than Sewell.
He's the best right tackle in football. I think he's better than Sewell.
You think Darnell?
He's 22.
He's to talk about.
He's 23 years old. Sewell is 28. He's 23 years old, man.
He's been doing it this whole time, and he's still
Darnell Wright's only going to get better. He's going to be better than Sewell.
When Darnell Wright was drafted, that was the vision, right? Like, can this guy be our Penei Sewell? He's starting to turn into that, but I am not ready to say that he's better than Penei Sewell. That's a bridge too far.
I'm getting pretty close.
He's ranked higher than Sewell. What do you go off of? He's ranked higher than Sewell.
I mean, I'm not going off of PFF in regards to where he's ranked, but he has been playing very well.
You don't have to go PFF. Go look at offensive line rankings or tackle rankings from other websites outside of PFF. He's ranked number 1 in the NFL. He's number 1 in the NFL.
Darnell Wright has been a damn
based off of pressure rate, based off of pancake blocks, based off of
this is where
everything. Everything based off of polling, based off of opening up run lanes. He is number 1 in the NFL in every statistical category among right tackles.
Look at fight at a wedding. We're supposed to be celebrating. Learn says, man, he's a nice new member of the chat.
I celebrate everything. I just get fired up when we can't have a decent conversation about.
I feel like we're having a conversation. I feel like we're having a conversation. I feel like we just had that conversation. And
let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a question.
I wanted to talk about the offensive line.
Hold on, just to end this conversation. Let me ask you a question. Right now, you guys, we've talked about numerous times what Caleb does with his God-given talent, right? The off script, in Dustin, like you said, he's getting better at the timing. The offense, his running ability is starting to improve. His pocket presence is certainly probably the best in the NFL right now, if any quarterback in the NFL. If Caleb could complete those passes that I'm talking about, Dustin, you know what we're talking about. You've brought it up yourself. If he gets better at those little things that right now,
all through the beginning of the season.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He's not the things he's just not doing well right now. If he gets better at those little things, rushing passes like the one Roman.
This offense will be fucking unstoppable.
Are they? They're unbeatable.
This offense will.
They're unbeatable. They're not beatable.
They're top 10 in most major categories.
They'd be number 1.
With Caleb missing those passes.
They'd be number 1.
But here's the reality, guys. Here's the reality. he's never going to hit all of them.
No,
He's
of
going
course
to get
not.
better.
Sure, of course not.
No one ever is.
The reality is he's going to improve.
He's going to get better, guys. But like, he might not ever be the quarterback you think he should be. He might not ever be that.
Should be.
And
It could be. Could be.
Or could be, should be, whatever. Whatever. He might not ever be that, but he might just be good enough with the skills that he does have, the natural skills that he has. And once you take those and pair them with Ben Johnson's structure, you still have a pretty damn unstoppable offense. And I think that's showing itself already.
Yeah, I think they do. And I think Caleb's.
But yeah, I agree.
The things with Caleb are. Listen, here's
the people in the chat
trust Ben
constantly
Johnson.
shit all over us for saying he needs to be better. Like
I trust Ben Johnson.
100%. All right, how about instead of 50, Swaggy? How about 62 like last year?
I trust Ben.
How dangerous are the Chicago Bears if Caleb Williams leads one drive on the field a game instead of 8?
I trust Ben Johnson. I trusted Ben Johnson with the Colston Loveland pick. I still do. I trust Ben Johnson's ability to develop and grow Caleb Williams into the player that you're talking about. The completion percentage increasing, the open throws in the clean pocket being made. I think Ben Johnson's going to get Caleb there. I trust Ben Johnson probably more than anyone, which is strange because he wasn't the guy I wanted to hire. But I think you have to wait for it. If Ben Johnson, here, Dustin, me and you beat this up on the bare minimum. Dustin, me and you beat this up on the bare minimum. Ben Johnson keeps talking about Caleb's timeline. He keeps mentioning Caleb's growth. He keeps mentioning where he thinks Caleb should be. Guess where he is? Exactly where he wants him.
Can I ask you a question?
Trust him.
Come out and say something different.
Wants a 51 completion percentage.
Trust Ben Johnson.
Go to the seasons like
national media, dude.
50% is pretty good. I don't.
What about? Do you think Ben Johnson's lying to you?
I think Ben Johnson's the one who told us 70%, guys.
I think I can tell you this. Go ahead. I can tell you this. When you watched him walk off the field at Minnesota, he wasn't happy, and neither was Caleb Williams.
No, neither one of them were, and that's the most important thing, Sean. These two are in lockstep. They are figuring it out.
They think just like one another.
But I do believe there's a dance you got to do as a developer of a quarterback to keep them confident and also.
I'm not saying it's all doom. I'm not saying it's all doom and gloom.
I'm not saying that you're saying that. And
Sean, here's a perfect example. Like I love Cliff, right? Love Cliff, right? And
final offer.
Here, Cliff says, if you want to complain about something, complain about the run game. That needs fixing before Friday. Like you guys, the Bears are third in the NFL in rushing yards per game.
They were second going into this week.
But wait, they had one bad week, and look at Cliff is calling out the faults of the Chicago Bears. But if we call out one bad week of one thing that Caleb's doing wrong, we're assholes. Like
we love you, Cliff.
The Chicago Bears are third in the NFL in rushing yards per game. Third in the NFL. Where do they have to be satisfied as a Bears fan with the run game?
Well, they were second before this week.
Okay, well, they might still be in second. Last time I looked, they were third.
They were second.
I thought Ben had addressed that in the bye week, and it really improved. I thought Ben turned that entire thing around. To be honest, I think the run game is the most impressive thing Ben Johnson's done as a coach for the Chicago Bears. It was non-existent. They went on a bye week and came back, and now you're talking, Kyle, where they are ranked. That is with the same players that you went into the bye week coming out with. That is one hell of an improvement to make.
Can I point out a dynamic that leads to some of this frustration we have with each other? It's out there in the ether. It's out there on social media, and a lot of people go at Caleb when it's over the top, and that's been mentioned in the chat, like the over scrutinization to a point where it becomes nauseating. And at some point, as Bears fans,
big difference between 70 and 50, but
at some point, as Bears fans, you gotta accept your team for what they are. They're showing us who they are, right? You gotta take the good with the bad in any relationship.
The bad with the good.
Right. So, but at some point, we got to accept who they are, and we got to defend our fucking guys because there's a lot of people out there. So, I think when anybody, we're all Bears fans. I've criticized Caleb. You guys have criticized Caleb. When anybody does it, it feels like it's a part of that. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's a part of that X account bullshit where everybody's dogging on Caleb, this first round mock guy on X who constantly has some negative shit to say. And you run a danger of being lumped in with those people when you say certain things. And that dynamic was not created by us, but we certainly live in it and we deal with it. Do you guys get what I'm saying at all?
Well, then that's up to the listener. Then the listener's not listening to everything you're saying. If you come on here and say, "Hey, Justin," I started the show by saying this was one of Caleb's best 3 games of the season. His best 3 games of the season.
I thought you said it was one of his best games of the season. Period.
Yeah. It's Dallas, it's Cincinnati, and it's Pittsburgh. Those are Caleb Williams' best 3 games this season. And I've said that the growth from year 1 to year 2,
The worst
his
pass
pocket
defenses.
presence, the growth is absolutely astronomical. We might be watching the
Under center, Kyle?
best guy in the world at navigating the pocket in the history of football. This guy,
there's nobody close to him.
Might
right
be
now.
the best
Nobody.
ever. Him and Mahomes are very close. Mahomes
There's
is very
nobody
close.
close. There's nobody close,
Mahomes
and it's
is
a
pretty
huge
damn good at
advantage.
navigating the pocket. But at the same time, I could say those things and say, I love Caleb. I love the 3 touchdowns. I love the 260 yards. I just wish it was 360 yards and 4 touchdowns because the Pittsburgh secondary was dog shit. Wide open wide receivers all over the field. That touchdown to DJ Moore when they jumped off sides is not acceptable. That's not acceptable. That is not acceptable.
Yeah, but our quarterback
was not a defensive player on the TV.
Our last quarterback didn't see
touchdown.
those. Remember how many freeze frames of wide open receivers?
All I'm saying is I can be critical of Caleb Williams while still saying he is the best quarterback we've ever had. I absolutely love him, and I'm willing to be patient. I'm just saying if he could correct the things from week to week, like if he was, instead of being 50% completion percentage this week, it was 58, then maybe the Bears stand a chance at winning a Super Bowl in 2025. Because they have to. They
Guys,
would have
can
best
I say this real
football.
quick? We didn't.
That's
the
what I'm
Steelers-
saying.
The Steelers Bears game, the 4th down where they designed run Caleb to the left.
That's
the
huge.
block that DeAndre Swift made on that play.
Play call.
He put his body in front of a defensive and edge rusher that like kind of killed him. But he knew if he just got
Caleb
in the way,
is better than Jake
he
Cutler.
bought Caleb enough time to get the DeAndre Swift, man, did not have a great game running the football, and he still makes an impact. DeAndre Swift is an impact football player,
DeAndre Swift is
regardless
the
of
man.
what he's doing, man.
With this Caleb thing, and this is from Zach Pearson on X. I saw this and I wanted to throw it out there. With 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions on Sunday, Caleb Williams has now done that 4 times in his career. He's now tied for 3rd in franchise history in games of 3+ pass touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He trails Mitch Trubisky with 5 and Jay Cutler with 6. He's definitely passing Jay Cutler and Mitch Trubisky on that. He is going to end up being the best quarterback the Chicago Bears have ever had, Kyle. You are 100% correct. It is just so early on in the process, and it's like we can't expect Caleb to be a finished product, and that's just
and he never will be.
No. So, but I mean, like, he is better than Jay Cutler right now. To me, I think he has better.
Of
pedigree.
course, you don't. What do you mean? It's not even comparable. He's on pace to overthrow for over 400,000 or 4,000 yards. Something that Jay Cutler never did. He never did.
He's already at this point in his career a better passer than Josh
And he doesn't
Allen.
turn the ball over. Jay Cutler was a pretty big. Who is it? Was it Charles Woodson? Somebody said on the Packers, "We don't like how you're going to beat Jay." They're like, "We don't have to. He's just going to throw us the ball." Like the guy was infamously known for throwing the ball.
And
away.
I love Jay. Man.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too. And he was a gun. And you know what? A guy who plays like Jay Cutler does throw the ball over. He's a gunslinger. That's what Jay Cutler was. He was a gunslinger, and those guys throw the ball away.
Jay Cutler was not a good. He wasn't a good leader. And
this comment,
and
Caleb is the unquestioned leader of this team, which gets overlooked an awful lot. This comment right here, and Sean, this goes back to what I was saying. He never really commented on. I'm just curious. He says, Caleb has been criticized beyond belief. Who said anything positive outside of Chicago about Caleb? And that's kind of what I was saying. Like, the amount that comes down on Caleb, it gets people defensive.
Yeah, people hate him.
Feel that or understand
not you guys, not anybody here.
People
hate Caleb Williams.
There's a lot of people in the national media saying
with passion
about Caleb.
John
Gruden just said he thinks he's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. Man,
it's gotten to that point, but it wasn't like that just to start this season. Sean.
I'm not. Dustin's talking about the media. This fan base is split, and half of these people fucking hate this guy.
It's not split. It's a loud minority.
Not 50-50, but a good majority of this fan base hates this guy with passion. Hates him. And I think, and me and Dustin, we've come to this conclusion. Guys, you're going to agree with me. The people in the chat are going to. I still think it spawns back. It all goes back to one thing.
Okay.
Who did you want to be your quarterback?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, that's
I was trying to ask Sean a question. I was trying to ask Sean.
Well, somebody in the chat, V-Dog is throwing you a bunch of questions.
Throw up on that, Brandon, because that's fucking retarded.
What?
There's a big
thing. Caleb because they wanted Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
Segment of this fan base that did want Justin Fields.
100%. I think a lot of people did.
It is stupid, but it's still reality.
There's still people sharing. Justin Fields will come out and throw like a good quarter.
A very, very small percentage of the fan base does that, dude.
There's still like Justin Fields will come out and throw a good quarter of football on the Jets, and they share it on Bears pages.
Guys, one of these days, the 4 of us all need to look each other in the face and let Justin Fields go. Let it go.
Can we hold hands, Kyle?
You guys are talking about it
Kyle,
this morning on our group chat again. It's
Kyle,
every day.
will
The
you
Justin
hold-
Fields
will you-
conversation, you
will
guys.
you hold
He's not
my
even
hand?
playing.
Kyle, will you
I didn't
hold
talk
my
to you.
hand
I
while
didn't
we
talk
do
about
it?
Justin Fields.
Why
today.
are we always
Kyle,
reverting back to Justin
Will you
Fields?
look me
Because
deep
I
in
love to
my
talk about how
eyes
much
and
he
hold my
sucks because I
hand
was so
while
right
we
about
do
it. It feels
Okay,
great,
well, let's
to
talk
be
about
honest.
Drake May. A lot of Bears fans wanted them to draft Drake May instead of Caleb Williams.
You won't answer my question, Kyle. You're dodging the question.
What's
Will
the
you look
question?
me deep in the eyes and hold my hand while we do it? Will you?
I feel like I have to hold your hand through
We
everything.
got to let him go.
Let it go.
Sean
right,
B-Dog was asking you a bunch of questions earlier, man.
He was answering him.
Oh.
Sean answered him in the chat. He was
Oh,
talking.
I
to
didn't
him.
know. I didn't know that you did. I can't read the
Flex
chat.
says,
I
let's
just
say
keep saying
Caleb.
Sean.
Flex says, let's say Caleb doesn't improve from this point. Ben Johnson is here. He has all the juice at Halas Hall. Let him pick the guy he wants to work with. I'm cool with that. I don't think it's going to come to that, but yes, as Brandon was saying, trust Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson is here because of Caleb Williams, and he believes in Caleb Williams more than any of us four talking and any of y'all in the chat. That's what I believe. I believe Ben Johnson believes in Caleb Williams immensely more than anyone else.
Ben Johnson has no choice.
Ben Johnson made the choice, Kyle.
Yeah, it was his choice.
Exactly. So now he's tied to Caleb Williams, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, but that was Ben Johnson didn't make the choice like flippantly. He knew what he was doing.
I think you guys are way blowing out of proportion. How many? Not many Bears fans don't like Caleb Williams, guys. I talk to 200 people a day. That's my job.
It's not about I'm not talking. Listen, Kyle,
you know how many percentage of Bears fans that don't like Caleb Williams? It's about 0.00006.
Yes, but they hate him. That's the point. It's not about Caleb didn't play that well in this game.
People are going to hate everybody. People hate
screw
Josh
this
Allen.
guy with his painted nails.
You should hate anybody in the NFL because you don't know them. So why? That's stupid.
If he wins me a Super Bowl, I'm going to paint my fucking nails. Then people can hate
you
me.
guys disagree? You guys don't think Caleb was heavily scrutinized?
You don't know Justin Fields, so you can't hate him as a person.
Do you think Caleb was scrutinized at a higher rate than most players?
Caleb was the most scrutinized number one overall pick I've ever seen
in NFL history.
Yeah.
In NFL history. Without a doubt.
You still got the Niners miss the playoffs?
I want to get into some of these things then. Real quick. Let's
I don't.
move.
I don't.
No, okay, but so then we're gonna get into it. I got questions for
game
you.
Balls. Let's just do the game balls in that Steelers game.
Let's do the game balls. And I'll just start because I already said Nahshon Wright should have gotten a game ball. But the thing I wanted to talk about, guys, this offensive line deserves a fucking game ball every goddamn week. The way that they've been playing, the way that they've been rebuilt, the amount of pressure that they don't allow. You got Ozzy filling in for Benedet. You got Luke Newman jumping in for Jackson. Jackson coming back out there. They never missed a beat. Caleb faced the least
they're really
pressure.
healthy. Besides that left tackle,
they have stayed healthy all season and been one of the most gelled offensive lines in the NFL, and it is showing in terms of the results. It was said earlier by Flex, I believe, Caleb is trusting the O-line. It's the first time in his career he's been able to do that, and it just started happening a couple weeks ago, guys. You're seeing it. You're seeing that progression as well. So this O-line, to me, deserves a game ball. I hope that they stay healthy all year because that is the biggest X factor for this team this season. It's not Caleb Williams. It's not Ben Johnson. It is this O-line, the improved play, and the interior more specifically.
James, I don't think anybody hates Caleb in this chat. Not that I know of.
I mean, everyone thinks I hate Caleb Williams.
I know we were playing a really bad defense, but I'm going to give my game ball to DJ Moore, man. I mean, there's separation, and then there's what DJ Moore was doing yesterday. I mean, the guy was 25 yards. Well, there was a touchdown where they did for sure, but there was a touchdown where he also just beat the guy who was defending him. But DJ Moore, man, I was kind of waiting for a multi-touchdown, a breakout DJ Moore kind of game, and I thought it came at a really good time.
I like that, Brandon. I like that. Probably stole Sean's.
No.
It's Ruben Hippolyte.
No, my ball's going to Dennis Allen, man.
Darnell Washington.
Dennis Allen's a good one. Dustin said that earlier.
I like where he is and what he did yesterday, how he got this defense up. They came up. I mean, they basically won the game with that tip ball. They played hard. DeMarco Jackson, Amon, what's his last name there, Kyle?
Bamiga.
There you go. That guy, they had 25 tackles together, I believe, or it was 30 tackles together.
31.
I think it was 28.
Yeah,
wasn't it 15 and 13?
I thought it was 15 and 16.
Oh, there you go. Even better.
And here, no matter what, Dennis Allen had this defense inspired. I know they gave up 28 points, whatever. They keep doing what they're doing every week, and he gets them at the right times to do the right thing at the right moment that puts the Bears in a position to win a game.
It's situational, Sean. It's a
it's all
situational.
you can ask for when you
Yeah.
got a mash unit out there, because he did this with special teamers.
Sean, there's
And
even a point in that game. There's even a point in that game
big
where
boys.
Ogbongbadija left. Ogbongbadija left that game for a couple minutes.
Yeah, and he
Sean,
came
and-
back.
and
I don't even
Sean-
know who was playing
and
at that
Sean,
point.
You hit the nail on it. 28 points, and people are gonna, for sure, people are gonna be like, "Oh, there's your average. You keep giving 28 points," but they had 21 points in the first half.
Yeah.
How
They only
many
allowed 7 in the
chances?
second
How
half,
many
yeah.
chances when they were up 31 did that team
had a
have to
lot.
go score? And the Bears defense just kept shutting them the hell
Second
down.
half
man.
adjustments also should
Yeah.
get a game ball.
The
Bears on
defense in
top
the
of the
second
NFC
ball was
North, P.
the defense in the second half was impressive, man. It was
Yeah.
top to
It
It
bottom.
was 100%.
We
Without
are
a doubt.
not the Lions' little brother. Y'all sucked my whole life, dude. Don't come on here and say we're your little fucking brother. We're winning the NFC North right now, and the Lions have sucked my whole life, dude. Get out of here. But don't get out of here. We love you. Stay here.
But we finally took the North. It's a weird time to say it.
Yeah, my game ball is pretty easy, guys. I think you guys know where I'm going here. I mean, everybody's. I don't know if there's another Bears player who's taking more
Caleb
scrutiny
Williams.
and more shade this season than Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat has been absolutely destroyed by the Chicago Bears fan base. Bernie,
Yeah,
you talk
he
about
was
hate.
a
You talk
monster
about hate.
yesterday.
That guy has been was destroyed by this fan base for the first 3 weeks of the
This
season.
was deserved, though.
Montez
It was
Sweat.
deserved.
Montez Sweat over the last 6 weeks has been, if not the best Chicago Bear, top 3 for sure. Not even a question. I mean, he has, first of all, even the sack that people want to harp on that he missed in that game, which he should have had. He should have had 3 sacks. But even the one he missed, that Rudolph ended up rushing that throw and threw it out of bounds, and it ended up becoming a 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 12. So it doesn't matter. Like he still impacted the play.
Sack.
Montez Sweat had
Montez Sweat missed it.
Mason
He had him
Rudolph in his
wrapped up.
hand.
Yeah, he had
Wrapped
Rudolph
up in his
wrapped up.
hands.
I
And
don't
There's
remember.
no reason he
Maybe
shouldn't
I
have
got
gotten
up to
that.
take.
Yeah,
a
I don't
week.
know how he got
remember
out
Come
of
to think of it, fuck Montez Sweat for not getting that.
Montez Sweat over the last 6 weeks has
The
been the
fumble
most
recovery,
consistent
man.
Bear on the Chicago Bears defense. He is the only reason the Bears have a pass rush in any way, shape, or form this season. I told everybody that Deo signing was garbage. It turned out to be worse than I thought it was going to be. Montez Sweat
Still
right
paying for
now,
that
he
one.
gets my game ball.
Can I give an honorary game ball?
The recovery. He stripped that ball. It bounced around between
Dude,
5
Trevon
players,
Dexter,
and he just came back like just. give
Devon
it to him.
Dexter had one of his worst games as a
You know,
Trevon
you know
Dexter,
what?
fall your fat ass on the ball. You don't pick it up
Yeah.
and run with it. They
You know
teach
what I
that
like?
in Pee-wee, man. Get on the ball. Just fall on the ball.
You know what I like
man.
about
That pissed me
Sweat,
off
man?
so bad.
Yesterday when he took that ball away, I texted you guys this. It was like the most OG thing. He picks the ball up. He's finally, and there's the refs are still like, who definitively recovered this
In that
football?
game.
And instead of calling his defense over to do a flash mob celebration like these guys constantly do nowadays when they take the ball away, he just threw it over his left shoulder. And the ref was even asking, like reaching out, and he just literally tossed it over his left shoulder and walked off the field. And I was like, that was pretty gangster, dude. He's like, get it out. Get the fuck off my field.
You said, Brandon, you said like a candy wrapper. I was just wondering, do you do that with your candy wrappers? Do you just litter? Do you just walk around taking your candy wrapper and throwing it over your shoulder when you're done with it? Like,
I expect you to pick it up.
You're littering, you piece of shit.
Hey, better than DJ Moore. At least you're not throwing your candy wrappers at people.
I throw milk jug boxes so bugs can use them for houses.
One more game ball if we got the time. Colston Loveland. Colston, you're gonna do an honorary one, you said, Sean. But I'm gonna just say Colston Loveland kicked ass in that game. The touchdown catch, the way he worked that route and got in the end zone and bodied that defender away from him, and then that catch that he made when it got popped out and he was being tackled and still managed to come down with it. He came up with some big catches and some big spots. He's still a damn good run blocker. Don't get enough credit for it. I love me some Colston Loveland, and he is catching up to Tyler Warren in terms of those stats this season with much less opportunity. Let's see how this season ends, because I think Ben Johnson will end up being justified in his decision when it's all said and done, guys.
I mean, justified and maybe even Loveland over Warren. I don't know about tight end at 10. Sean, who's your
not left tackle or defensive end. I'm not going there yet, but yes, over Tyler Warren.
Or Egbuka. Would you not love to see Egbuka with Roma Dunze and DJ Moore, dude? Come on, bro.
I like Burden, man.
Insane, dude.
I think Burden might be just as good as Egbuka when it's all said and done, too. So we'll see.
Burden's going to be a top 5 receiver in this league.
Yes.
Dude, that play that Caleb missed Burden on, he was open for like 12 yards. Like, what? Get the ball out, man.
Well, he dealt with some pressure on that one.
How about Rome, Egbuka, and Burden?
Yeah, Dustin, I think he was waiting for a passing lane. There was some hands in the air. I think he was trying to get up.
Sean, who's your honorary? Who's your honorary, man?
The honorary guys has to go to
Says
the
you rage
debut
baiter.
of Ozzy Trapilo. I know he was getting help, tight ends over there. He was getting a little help from the running backs as well.
Swift helped a lot. Yeah.
He played. He was in his debut. Herbig is not an easy guy to go against. He has like 12 pressures or 12 quarterback hits this year. He's up there in pressures. He gets after the quarterback. So I got to give a props to the brick wall, Ozzy Trapilo, his debut. And guys, I got to say, if you want to look at a game, because we had this discussion, I think we talked about a little bit last week. But if you start to look at this draft class as a whole, you had 20 snaps out of Luke Newman yesterday. He also played at fullback
and the jumbo. He was the jumbo guy too.
You had Ozzy Trapilo, who had a sensational day. Luther Burden starting to come along. Manungai's doing his thing, and then you have Colston Levelin, who's starting to come along. So this draft class, we talked about it and said, I know some people in the chat last week were kind of on the fence, but
the Bears nailed this draft.
It's starting to come along a little bit.
There was one run play by Manungai where you saw every rookie that they drafted on offense making an impact just on that one play by Manungai.
And we talked about in the offseason when people were a lot of people in the chat, a lot of Bears fans were out on Trapilo, and it's like, hey guys, maybe just because they don't think he can play left tackle coming in week 1 of the NFL season and his rookie season doesn't mean he's never going to get an opportunity to play left tackle again. And here we are, week 11, and due to a couple of injuries, and there's Ozzy.
I agree with you. I'm sure you guys all realize this, but if this guy can solidify the rest of the season that left tackle position, what this does for the Bears draft next year. Holy shit.
Changes the draft completely.
Well, I think it's amazing to talk about, Sean. We got to talk about that.
And I think Ozzy Trapilo was a very different player yesterday and forced into that role than he would have been, Kyle, if they had tried to force him into that role early in this season. I think for sure Dan Roshar and these guys are working on it. He's developing day in and day out. And I think he was a much better product yesterday on the field than he would have been if you threw him in week 1 as your starting left tackle.
Well, I mean, same as Colston Levelin and Luther Burden, right? People are unhappy with the usage of those two guys, or at least they were for the first 8 weeks of the season. Well, maybe Ben Johnson.
But you might have burned Trapilo if you started
more of a detriment than they were.
100%, Brandon.
Yeah, I think he might have not done well for his confidence.
Yeah, I want to have this conversation. Let's hear it, man, because this makes me.
When you start looking at what Ben Johnson is doing, and I've made this point before, when you start looking at what Ben Johnson is doing with this running game, these 2 running backs that he has right now, a 7th round pick that he just drafted in DeAndre Swift, who you're still going to have next year. And if you can get this type of production, second best run offense in the league up going into this past week out of these 2 running backs, how much do you need to invest in draft capital unless it's Love who falls to you in the first round by some crazy
I'll go first.
Really good run.
Oh no, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet because you brought up the Ozzy Trapilo thing. If Ozzy Trapilo solidifies himself at left tackle for the remainder of this season, now you don't need to invest that capital in that first round pick at the left tackle position, the Caden Proctors of the world, right? And then if Austin Booker starts playing at a high level towards the end of the season,
Booker is playing at a high level.
He 100% is, and if he continues to and starts getting home, because he has been balling. Now, what do you can go into this draft because your biggest concerns are edge, right? Left tackle, running back. Am I missing something?
Safety.
Linebacker, I guess. When you start considering
the Bears don't have a single safety under contract next season.
Yes. So, but like if those 3 spots get solidified down the stretch run of this season, guys, you can go into that draft with able to do whatever Poles can and Ben Johnson can do whatever they want. They can take the best player available at one of those positions of need or the best player available in general, which is what you want your GM to be able to do. And like, how valuable is that? And watching that happen and unfold down the stretch of this season, I guess was my question. Because I think it's valuable as shit.
It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And you know where I stand. I like game changers and playmakers. And if there's an opportunity for the Bears to get one of those, and I know we had a disagreement on this last week, but guys, all you have to do is watch Gibbs. Gibbs took over that game because the Lions couldn't do shit. And if the Bears have an opportunity to take an offensive player of that caliber, even with these holes, you do it because they change games, and the Bears lack superstars and they lack game changers. Just do it. You can still figure it out. Doesn't mean you can't get a safety. There's safeties that were drafted in the 3rd or 4th round right now that are starting in the NFL.
Bayard was a
Playing
5th round
well.
pick. Bayard was a
Makuba.
5th round pick, wasn't he?
There you go.
Yeah.
All I'm saying
Makuba.
and look, you do want to get your left tackle. You do want to get your edge because those are two very expensive positions which you can lock down for 5 years, but you can also still get those guys in the 2nd and 3rd round and they can have impacts on your football team.
So what this team solidifying at those positions does down this stretch, like what J2K is saying right now, and like what you were just saying, Kyle and Sean, it opens you up to any possibility in the draft to do what you just said, Sean, to draft the game changer. You're not bogged down and tied down by need. You can just get the best player available.
I agree, and I think Jeremiah Love would be awesome on the Bears. But I mean, if the Bears are going into this offseason, they're like, where do we need help? I mean, you expect this draft to be pretty defensively heavy for the Chicago Bears. I mean, the Bears defense is still ranked 26 overall in the NFL, guys. And I understand they've dealt with a lot of injuries. Who's to say they're not going to deal with injuries next year? Who's to say they're not going to deal with the same injuries next year?
You've spent your last
Kyler
first-round picks on
is
offensive
probably a
players.
guy who's going to be injured a lot in his career. I mean, if I'm the Bears, at least 5 of my picks in this offseason are going towards the defensive side of the ball. I mean, Caleb's outscoring people already. It's time to stop teams from scoring 26 points a game.
Yeah, the offense is pretty well set. That's kind of what we're saying, right? You got to address the defense.
Now, I'll say this, Kyle.
Oh my God, guys! Bryce Young and Brock Purdy are just exchanging interceptions back and forth here.
Oh, that game is on shit.
In the games this year, which Kyler Gordon did play, which were 2, the Bears let up 11 less points. So now you get Jalen Johnson back, you get Kyler Gordon back, you get TJ Edwards back. You're going to drop down.
Tremaine Edmonds now too. You got. I don't know.
Well, Tremaine Edmonds, he's out until the Packers.
I mean, you guys, honestly, outside of running back, I want to hear all 3 of your guys' opinion here. Outside of running back, and maybe left tackle, depending on what happens with Ozzy Trapilo, right? Outside of running back, what glaring holes do the Bears have on offense?
It's left tackle.
On offense, yeah.
It's left tackle. It's left tackle to me, Kyle.
It's left tackle. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe
we'll see what Ozzy does. And
Maybe
I guess
that
next question is: should Ozzy start the rest of this season in you guys' mind?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think. Well, first off, man, the guy is unmovable. And he's not as fast. He's not as quick on his feet, but he's a big dude. And if you can help with a chip, it's much harder to get around Ozzy Trapilo. Even if he's not too fast, he's just a large man. Where I think Benedet was just constantly chasing somebody.
What do you have to lose?
Constantly chasing somebody.
Games.
When Benedet faces,
is Benedet that big of a difference?
No, he's not. You're right.
When he faces,
and Ozzy's a much better athlete. A much better athlete.
When he faces big bull rushing guys, Theo Benedet, he's just left behind, man. I think that Ozzy Trapilo is a guy that's going to prevent the bull rush, and he's going to struggle with guys that have finesse. I think that Theo Benedet's going to get beat by the guys who can bull rush, but he's got good hands. He can handle the guys with finesse. I think you see more bull rush than you do finesse edge rushers in the NFL. I want a guy like Trapilo that can anchor. He's a big dude. You can't move him very easily.
Well, guess what?
And he moves really well, Brandon. He's a better athlete than Theo Benedet. He's a much better pass protector.
And I believe, and Sean, Kyle, you guys have said this. I mean, this guy was drafted in the 2nd round. He's drafted in the 2nd round. I like Theo Benedet. The Benedet thing is cool. That's cool, man. I love, and I really do like the kid. The kid, like his kid is all fucking heart. But I don't know that the undrafted Canadian player like versus the guy you took in the 2nd round. I think you want to know by the end of this year. What Dustin just said. If you want to know you have your left tackle, start with the guy you put the most stock in.
I mean, he has the highest ceiling for sure.
And you drafted him. You drafted him with the highest pick, right? More than Karan, more than Benedet. He's the guy that you spent the most capital on. He's the guy you need to know is your answer.
And the chat is in agreement with us, guys. And I mean, I think it only makes sense. Like you said, what do you have to lose, Kyle? We got to make sure we got to make sure what we have in Ozzy Trapilo this season. And honestly, I think he's already better than Benedet. I think Benedet works really hard, but he's got limitations physically that Ozzy Trapilo just doesn't have, as Brandon was just saying. So you keep throwing him out there until he loses the job. We've been saying all season this is going to be a rotating door at the left tackle position, but maybe it just landed on its final spot for the season with Ozzy Trapilo, and I think Ben Johnson might be feeling that way too. The chat's in agreement with this, guys.
I mean, I don't agree with you, James. I don't think the main reason they didn't run the ball against the Steelers was Ozzy Trapilo. The Bears were running in between the tackles. It just didn't work this week. It wasn't.
The Steelers have a quality line, man. Their secondary sucks.
Do.
But
it was a bad game plan by the Steelers.
It was a terrible game plan.
They were giving the
on
Bears
offense and defense.
Yeah, they were giving the Bears the middle of the field on offense to so that they could stop the run. And the Bears
Senge's out there for the
Caleb
Bulls.
was picking them apart, man. I mean, those receivers for the Bears were wide open. All I mean,
and you want to know? You want to know what
the Steelers should have adjusted at halftime. They did not.
I was just going to say
Ben Johnson out-coached Mike Tomlin, guys.
Definitely Arthur Smith for sure.
Definitely
one and the same. Arthur Smith.
I'll be perfectly honest. Going into this game with those three tight ends and the way that they can get the ball, and you watch the Steelers, they throw the ball, little curl routes right over the middle of the running backs. They decided not to attack the middle of the field, and they were going to the flats. When the Bears took the flats away from them, they had nothing. They had no answer and decided not to attack the middle of the field, where the Bears have probably been the weakest all year. Arthur Smith is an idiot. It's just a terrible game plan.
We knew that. And I said to you guys during that game, if the Bears go up 10, the Steelers don't have enough juice offensively to come back, and they just didn't. Mason Rudolph was averaging 5.5 yards per attempt. That does not get it done in the NFL. They were dinking and dunking the whole way.
Gainwell broke a couple, though.
Yeah, the run game is what you're worried about. But at the time worked against you, and you were down 2 scores. There was just no way the Steelers were going to get back.
Yeah, they couldn't. They had time to run the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Allow so many big plays, man.
Drives were taking 12 minutes.
Guys, so we're all in agreement. Trapilo stays at the left tackle
I think
spot.
You should.
I wanted to roll with. Go ahead, Kyle.
What is anybody know what's wrong with Benedet?
I thought it was a concussion.
No, it was a quad. It was a quad.
I thought he had a concussion.
I was going to say hamstring.
No, it was a quad.
He might not have an option.
It's a quad injury.
Might not have an option. It might be Ozzy no matter what.
Hey, really quick,
and
guys,
that's fine. That's
really
fine.
quick, guys. Before we get too deep, because I know we're going to put a bow on this really, really soon. But before we do, I just want to let everyone know that December 7th, we are back. We are live, and we're going to be at River Street Tavern. $3 course, $3 Miller Lite, tall bottles, half off wings. We're going to do a live podcast, I believe. But we are going to bring some fire because we already got Dan Hampton to sign Packers Suck. We got this guy, Lance Briggs, one of my favorite Bears of all time. And
looking real boxy.
Yeah, we do our live shows from an octagon.
It's weird how these NFL players back in the day look like the Madden players back in the day, like real boxy, like the graphics are off.
Love this one. I know you guys love this.
Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah,
you know, his only this is the only autograph that he has out there. He did 8x10s and 16x20s. These are the only pictures he currently has in a Bears uniform autograph. And somebody December 7th can win this shit. So come out.
I'm gonna Peter Griff. I'm gonna just keep putting on different forms of mustaches and buying another.
It's not a free sample, man.
Well, you could just buy 500 for yourself.
Yeah, just buy the raffle tickets. Okay?
Hey, I want to do the disguise.
There you go. Now, boys, one more thing.
I need to use my fake mustache.
I got one thing for you guys.
I was going to ask a question that T Runs the North was asking.
I didn't think.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's perfect because that's exactly what I was going to bring up.
Okay. He had a question for us. Do you guys really think you're going to the playoffs? Yes, T. Yes, we do.
Because they got to that 8-win mark. Yes. Because now you just got to win 2.
They're going to find 2 wins in the remaining.
The Browns, I think,
that Green Bay schedule is brutal, dude.
Yeah, the Lions' schedule ain't looking that easy either. You're going versus Green Bay versus Dallas, who just beat the Eagles, at Los Angeles versus the Steelers, at Vikings, at Bears on the road twice in a row in the worst weather conditions possible to finish out your season with your quarterback who cannot play in those conditions very well. It's going to be a barn burner down the stretch. Me and Brandon went through a few weeks ago and laid out our remaining records for the NFC North. And I think up to this point, I know we are spot on. I think we had the Bears finishing at 10, the Lions finishing.
I think we had 11, Dustin.
We ended up with the Bears at 11, the Lions at 12, and the Packers at 10 and 6-1. So I mean,
the Bears are going to.
We had the Bears finishing 3-3 on that stretch, man. We had the Bears taking one of the Green Bay games, the Cleveland game, and then Dustin, we didn't decide was going to be Detroit or San Fran. I think we went with Detroit. I think we went with
I'll be
Ben
honest.
Johnson
right.
being
I
his
think
old
Detroit-
team
I
to
think
finish the year.
Detroit's going to be the statement game for the Chicago Bears.
In Chicago, in the elements, Jared
They're
Goff
going to
is
beat
not
the shit
gonna
out of them.
perform
Ben
well.
Johnson's
Look at how
old
the
team.
Packers have
Think about the
played.
script of that game.
But look at how the Packers have played. Are you guys
That's
scared
game of the
because
week.
the Packers in either of these
I'm
football
not
games?
scared of the
Atlanta
Eagles.
or-
I'm not scared of the Eagles.
I'm not scared of any team besides maybe the
The Rams.
Rams.
And we don't have to play
I
them,
think
and
the
the
Bears
Lions
can
too.
beat any team. Like there has been no team besides maybe the Rams, like I said, that has established themselves as that clear dominant team in the NFC or the NFL.
Well, the
for
Seahawks
that
are damn good. The Seahawks are damn good. It's a damn
I
good
love the
football
Seahawks, man.
And
The NFC
and
West
honestly,
is tough.
that Patriots team is pretty nasty, dude.
Well, they just lost the biggest piece
Plus,
of
they're
their
in the
offensive line.
So you wouldn't have to worry about them unless you went to the Super Bowl. So it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I think the Rams are that one team that might just finish this season out in a dominant
Yeah, in terms
fashion.
of getting to the playoffs, I don't see how the Bears would have to kind
Bears
of
are gonna make the
lose
playoffs.
out.
The Bears are going to make they're not going to
And-
lose out.
and the
I'm
Niners-
with
the
you guys.
Niners are
I
just
think
walking
3
down.
and 3. I think 3 and 3, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone just put in the chat 12 and 5. That wouldn't
That
surprise
was
me either.
J2K. That was
Yeah, because
J2K.
I think I personally I think the Bears are going to figure out a way to beat the Browns, and I'm starting to think, dude, the Packers look like shit. Jordan Love.
I think you get one of them anyways, even if they didn't.
They're gonna-
I
they're
had the
gonna
Bears
sweep the
getting
Packers.
one of those games this year.
And Kyle Harris, if you're out there and you're watching, I hope so, because you're gonna be hiding for a while, buddy, because this guy sucks. Jordan Love just sucks, dude. I am sorry. Watching him is painful. Watching him
This
versus
guy
McCarthy yesterday,
sucks.
I'd rather fucking listen to nails on a chalkboard than continue to watch that Packers Vikings game. That quarterback play was atrocious, dude. It was unbelievably bad.
Yeah, the NFC North teams against one another have been really weird.
Low
man.
scoring.
The Vikings beat the shit out of the Lions. Like, what is going on? The NFC North's been strange, man. It's been very strange.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this schedule finishes out, guys. But I think the Bears do to answer your question, end up in the playoffs, and it might be a divisional game if you get 2 or 3 teams out of the NFC North in the playoffs. We're going to see how. I think one of these teams is going to end up on the outside, and right now, unfortunately, your team is that team on the outside looking in. I'm sorry, but that's the case. We're going to see how it plays out as the season unfolds.
I'm so
But I
excited
like the
for
Bears'
Friday.
chances to get 2 to 3 wins, man.
I'm so excited for Friday.
The Bears can beat the Eagles, guys.
Listen,
I've
I
not,
think they
I've
can
not
beat the
entertained it
Eagles,
all season
but
until
I
now.
think the Eagles are elite.
I think the Eagles are very
I
beatable.
think the Eagles are still elite, and I think the Bears are going to have a hard time. And I'm very interested to see how they can win this game. I'm probably going to take the Eagles. I haven't made up my mind because I haven't dove into all the analytics yet. If it was in Chicago, I'd probably take the Bears.
Yeah, on the
In
road,
Philadelphia,
on the
scares
road
me.
on a short week, Sean. It usually favors the home team in that regard.
I
But
think
I'm
the
just,
injuries
I don't know that I'm going to pick the Bears to beat them. All I'm saying is that
Swift
I
will
wouldn't be
catch a
surprised
lot of
if we did.
passes.
I wouldn't be
yesterday
surprised
you
if they
watched the Eagles have a tale of 2 halves. They were a completely different team in the second half than they were in the first half, and they have flaws, they have blemishes that Ben Johnson can exploit. We'll see who's back healthy for this Bears team, and we'll go from there. But yeah, the road team on these short weeks usually is at a disadvantage, man.
Well,
and the Eagles are the better team than the Bears.
I do expect Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson to be back this week. After full practices last week, I fully expect them to play. I think they were saving them for this game. TJ Edwards is a whole nother story. I would actually kind of be shocked if Jalen and Kyler weren't out there. And if Jalen and Kyler are out there and TJ Edwards returns, I might just pick the Bears to win this game because I've always said this. I've meant it. I think Jalen Hurts is an okay quarterback. I think he's very mid. I think he can be beat. I think he can be had. I know he's a Super Bowl champion. He had a good game in the Super Bowl. He also didn't pass for 3,000 yards. He also makes mistakes. He underthrows balls a lot.
Not Jalen, I'm worried about.
It's Saquon Barkley.
And the more important thing that you didn't even mention, Sean, you just said Saquon Barkley's name. Their run game is nowhere near what it was.
No, it's not. It's
nowhere
not.
near what it was.
And I believe Lane Johnson is out.
I mean, he
That's
has
a-
been.
That's a huge deal for them.
And man, you look at that because they have so much talent. Their 3 linebackers are 3 of the best linebackers in the league. All 3 of them.
4.
Romy is saying JJ and
and you-
Kyler are back. I don't know.
Bond, Nolan Smith, these
hope.
Dean, these guys are studs. And then you get to the second level where you said Adonai Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are both doing what they're doing. The problem with
Quinyon Mitchell.
Quinyon Mitchell. The problem with this Eagles team is they're very hard. There's no place where you can expose them on defense. But then I was like, I'm thinking this, and then they go play this Dallas team, and you're like, whoa, somebody figured something out because Dak just lit them up.
in the
Hey, I
second
was
half.
gonna
I
say,
mean, he
man,
lit them up.
everyone's talking about
He had
that
like 40
secondary, dude.
fantasy points.
George Pickens ate them for breakfast, dude, yesterday.
Yeah, that Cowboys team is tough when you put Pickens on the other side of Lamb, man. And Jake Ferguson has been one of the best tight ends in the football. I mean, that Dallas Cowboys team, everybody shit on the Bears because of how badly they beat the Cowboys. It's just the Cowboys. Cowboys proceeded to tie the
I think
Packers.
they're the number one
beat the
offense in the
Eagles.
league.
I had the
They-
Cowboys with 10 wins this year. I think they could still get to 8
They
or
could
9.
still be a playoff team. Listen, given that, man, let me jump into these questions because that is one of my questions. I got
Oh,
a few
real
questions.
quick. I got to ask a
Okay.
question. I want to ask you guys a question.
Yes.
Bears.
Who would you rather have right now? Don't ask why I'm asking this question. Just answer it. Who would you rather have right now? George Pickens or Roma Dunze?
George Pickens. It's not even close.
Yeah,
Not
it's
even
Pickens.
close.
Yeah, it's Pickens.
It's
Yeah,
not
Pickens.
even close.
Yeah, it's Pickens. It isn't.
You know
You're
the
right.
ball he was
Right-
catching
right
in traffic yesterday. George
For
Pickens
one
is-
season or for their
God.
careers, but George Pickens is still what, 25 years old?
He's
He's young.
He's on his 3rd year of his rookie last year. Of his
It's
rookie
George
contract?
Pickens. It's not even
Yeah,
close.
he's on the
George
last year.
Pickens is
Yeah.
so
I always
freaking
liked George
talented,
Pickens.
dude.
I
Flaggy,
drafted
that's
him
exactly
in
what I was
fantasy
thinking.
2 years in a
That's
row.
so weird. When
What
Kyle
were you
was asked
thinking?
that question, I was like Sidney Sweeney before because you said Bears, and I was like
No.
Sidney Sweeney, and that's what I threw in the chat.
I think Pickens has a much better
Oh,
physique.
fucking
The guy's
Purdy.
like 6'4". I mean, the Bears don't have a George Pickens, so we'll just say they could
That's
use
what I'm saying,
one.
you guys. As the season
don't
goes
have
on,
that
our
guy.
number 9 overall pick, Roma Dunze, and I know it's still really
He's got to
just
catch
still-
those sideline
Yeah,
balls.
he's not looking
You
like a
gotta
number 1
catch
receiver to me,
those.
dude. He looks like a number 2.
He's number 2. Burden's your
It's
number
too early
1.
to say that. It's too early
It
to
is,
say
it
that,
is,
guys.
it is,
It's
it
too
is.
early. We
It
got to
is,
see
but-
how
Burden's
this
gonna be your
progresses.
number
But
1.
George Pickens is considered a number 2 on his team.
But
He
I
looks
would like
like
to
a
see
number
Pickens,
1.
well, we got to listen. Hold on, man. Pickens, Mike Tomlin did not like this kid. He didn't.
He should have.
Pick-
He fucking should have.
Pickens can be a problem.
He's mental.
Can.
He's also amazing.
He's really amazing.
Listen, he's dominating. He's
really
the second leading
amazing.
receiver in the NFL this year. This question is not even really a
It's
question to
not
me. I
close.
think it's a
Oh my
very
God.
easy
Just
answer.
watch him.
Did
Just
Brock just
watch.
throw his 3rd interception? Jesus.
Second.
He's so good,
Seconds.
dude.
Good Lord, he's up on my fantasy lineup.
Who's that?
But yeah, I mean, Rome has a ways to go. He's catching a lot of what he needs to in the middle of the field, but he needs to start making those boundary catches. And I want to see the Bears start giving him more opportunities in the red zone. That's what
Pickens
I want.
by a
And
country mile.
I think he'll be okay. I think Rome is gonna turn into that number 1. I am not jumping off that train yet. We'll see how it goes.
Your number 1 will be Luther Burden.
Burden is the man. I you know how much I love Burden.
Undoubtedly.
Okay,
He's going
so
to be the number
can we
1.
get into these my 12 pack of questions here around the league? I got a few here, but we can go quickly on them. Okay. And I asked
Nothing goes quickly on this show, Dustin.
No, I never. Yeah, I know. Never mind. I'll just not even entertain the idea of quickly.
Oh, they're both.
Are the Raiders the worst team in football? If not, who is?
I'd still take the Raiders over the Saints.
Brandon?
So you're saying the Saints are the worst, right, Kyle?
Yeah, I'd still take if they played each other, I'd take the Raiders to win that game right tomorrow.
I have to do this just
That's
because
really
this
close.
organization is just embarrassing. The Jets are the worst fucking team.
Yeah, Tennessee's in the
stand that
conversation
team.
for sure.
The Raiders
Jets.
beat the Titans.
The Jets. I'm going Jets.
Okay, so we're all Sean. I think the Raiders
team
are
is
the worst
so
team in football.
dysfunctional,
I
Tuck.
think the Raiders are the worst
Dustin,
team in
Bruce
football.
agrees with you.
Yeah.
I would say I'm split between
Definitely not the Browns.
Raiders
The Browns
and
have
the
they have one of the best units
The
in all
Browns just beat the shit out of the Raiders at home. The
The Browns have a really talented deep. They just had 10
the best defense in
sacks.
football.
Yeah.
Man.
You can't have 10 sacks in a game and be the worst team in the NFL.
I hate
That's
to
not
say
a
this,
thing.
man.
Yeah,
Everyone's
one
saying
side
the
of the ball
Titans
is
are-
good.
Let's get Sean's answer.
Everyone's saying the Titans are unwatchable, dude. Everyone's missing that Cam Ward.
Cam Ward is the shit.
He is getting comfortable. Yes,
He's
Sean.
getting really comfortable. He's
Yes.
making some really nice tight
He
throws.
And they're
looked
being
good
coached
against
better.
a really good Seahawks defense.
Yeah,
And they have improved with the firing of their head coach. They've improved.
they look good. I'm probably I'm probably like this between the Jets and the Raiders. I think the Saints are really close, but
Oh, the Jets are just so
the,
bad.
the
It's
Jets
the
are-
level of dysfunction with the Raiders. It's the lack of youth at quarterback.
That's kind
It's
of where
the-
I'm at.
It's the lack of usage of of Genty. I mean, they just fired their offensive coordinator, who they paid that shit ton of
Who
money.
they're going to be paying for the rest of their life. He's got the Bobby Bonilla contract.
I mean,
Like,
and
to
their
me, guys,
their
is
defense
this-
is a sieve. I mean, even with Max Crosby, I think the Raiders are the have the least potential. I
think
mean,
Geno
you got
Smith
Bowers and you
sucks.
got Genty, and that's really it, man. Like,
Geno
that's
Smith
really all you got.
sucks.
Yeah,
I would
Geno
go to
Smith has
O'Connell.
went back to sucky Geno
I don't know.
Smith.
The Browns had a
Everybody in Seattle.
Browns had a good draft, Swaggy.
Do you
I don't know
guys
if
think-
they drafted 2 quarterbacks and both of them might not be worth a damn?
Do you think that you would consider the team that decided to blow it up the worst team in the NFL? I mean, the Jets were just like, let's get rid of it all.
Yeah, that's why
Get rid of it all.
They made moves for multiple first round picks. They got a shit ton of
Jets
draft
are gonna-
capital.
Have you guys watched?
But I
did you
think
guys
they,
watch-
but yeah, Dustin, but you know, they embraced sucking.
Did you guys
Like,
watch
yeah.
the Saints Falcons game?
because they want the first
no,
pick.
I tried not
On
to, as
top
much
of
as
all the
possible.
picks they acquired, they want the
You
first
start watching
overall
the
pick in the
Saints.
draft.
I mean, you guys, Kirk Cousins sucks. He's not good, and the Falcons beat the shit out of the Saints. They beat
Yeah.
the shit out of them, dude. They
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
the
and the
shit out of them.
Falcons. We'll get
I mean,
to the
when
Falcons.
With no Drake London. With
when it
no
comes-
Drake London on the
when it
field,
comes-
and they
Swaggy,
beat
Swaggy,
the
they
shit
took
out
Mason Graham, who's a damn good player. Graham is a damn good player, and he's only. I think the
He's a
Browns.
stud.
Mason
I think-
Graham is actually having an.
Listen, I like Sampson, I
Schlesinger-
like Judkins, and I like Mason
Schlesinger
Graham.
is
I don't
a-
like the 2 quarterbacks.
Schlesinger
Yes,
is a monster.
I tried
Okay,
to tell you all
so
about Schlesinger.
Brandon, you had the Jets, or
Yes,
who did you?
yes, yeah. They blew
Kyle,
it up, man.
Kyle,
I'm a
you
Jets.
never answered. I don't think you said the
Yeah,
Saints.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you were the first one that answered. And Sean, who was your worst team?
It's actually a 3-way tie between all 3 of them.
Sean's having a 3-way. All right.
And they all suck ass.
Yeah, I would take I think the Raiders. Watching them yesterday,
I don't
they
think the
looked
Browns
like
belong
the
in that
worst team.
conversation. I don't think the Browns belong in that conversation.
They have 3 wins. The Browns
Not
have
the
3.
Browns.
They have
wins.
Miles
That's-
Garrett.
The
They have
Jets, the
Miles
Raiders,
Garrett.
the
There,
Saints.
they don't
Jets,
belong in the
Raiders, Saints,
conversation.
not the Browns.
Okay, then
Who's the best player in the Saints?
Shit, Cam
don't-
Jordan.
I don't think the Jets
Yeah,
win.
Chris
another
Olave?
game.
At 36.
Chris
Yeah.
Olave.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chris Olave. I'll give you that. I'd say, yeah, he's probably the best player, but somebody's got to give him the ball.
yeah, and they don't have that person right
The Raiders
now.
Yeah,
have
they
Max
should have
Crosby.
traded.
Like,
They
the-
should have
the-
traded Chris Olave.
Dude, the Saints are bad guys. It's not a good football team. And Tyler
Okay.
Shook, people can say whatever they want about him.
He's not good.
I'm not buying it. I'm
He's
sorry,
not good.
I'm not buying
They should have traded Chris
I'm
Olave
not-
for a first round pick.
I don't think they could have got a first.
Should've traded their
That's why
whole
they didn't
team.
trade him.
They should have traded
their
Chris
whole
Olave.
team. Should trade their whole team.
Absolutely.
Their whole team.
Oh
Should've
yeah,
traded anybody with
Kelvin
no-
Banks. Kelvin Banks is probably their best player now. The left tackle they just drafted.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
good
mean,
points,
I,
Swaggy.
he's part of the future, but he's
They got a
certainly-
damn
They,
good
they
O-line.
have some good offensive linemen. They've got
They
two
got
or
a
three.
damn
Right,
good O-line.
right, Dustin. We got to keep going. We're
Who's
making
the
these
best? Who's the best team in football in your mind?
long. Rams.
Yeah, yeah, it's the Rams. To me.
Rams. I'm Rams right now.
It's pretty
Matthew
simple, right?
Stafford's just playing. He's so comfortable. He's playing out of his fucking.
Stafford's the
mind.
clear MVP. It's not even close.
Yeah,
Just playing out of his
I
mind.
would say the Rams are just on a whole different level. I will say this though, man.
It's the Rams and everybody
That
else.
Ravens team is
Rams
just
defense
definitely
is
going to
really good,
start
too.
just shredding. You guys were right. The Ravens are about to start murdering everybody.
Dude, the Raiders couldn't beat the Jets yesterday. They
No.
struggled the entire
Well,
game.
Didn't they win like
beat them.
26-10?
Yeah,
27
they
to 10.
scored late in the game, dude.
I don't know.
They
man. I think-
struggled
I think
against
the Ravens.
the Jets all
I
day.
think the
Go
Ravens
watch
are going to
that
win that.
football
I
game.
got the Ravens winning that division.
The Ravens are winning that division. I
No
was
doubt
saying
about
that
it.
when they were 1-5. I told you Brandon was
No,
like, I don't
like
get the
picking
Ravens.
No, I still have the
Yeah.
Ravens in the Super Bowl in my pick.
Yeah. All right. So then we got Rams as the best team in football. Nobody else.
Stop Shane.
I have Ravens Eagles Super Bowl. That could very
James,
much happen.
James has the Eagles.
All right. Well, this other question then becomes kind of, I didn't really think about this. What team in the NFC, if any, are the Bears not capable of beating? And it's the Rams.
Rams and Seahawks.
Seahawks too? You're putting the Seahawks in there?
Both in there, yeah. Rams
Yeah, I
and
don't think
Seahawks.
they can beat the
Eric,
Seahawks.
we
either.
went to Seattle. Yeah, I don't think the Bears will win that game. If they come to Chicago, maybe we win that game.
I think they could beat every other team in the NFC.
What's up, Shannon? Thanks for
Throw a
joining us,
question
man.
here, guys.
Hit that like button.
Are the Buccaneers not good?
Okay, I got a
Buccaneers are-
question around
There's
that.
too many injuries.
Okay,
And
so
we'll see
here's-
what happens with this MRI with Baker Mayfield.
This is a better question than in regards to that. Can the Panthers or the Falcons, in parentheses, win the NFC South with the way the Bucks are
In
slumping?
parentheses.
In parentheses.
Oh, God.
Can the Panthers or the Falcons
The
win
Panthers,
the
I
NFC
think,
South
Dustin.
No,
with the way the
I
Bucks
think,
are
With
slumping?
Rico Dowdle
I
on that
think the Bucs-
defense, the
I think the
Panthers.
Bucks.
man.
I think it's the Bucks to lose, man. I don't think the Bucks are gonna.
They're 6-5. The Panthers could take the division tonight with a win against the Niners.
Yeah, and they have a good defense. They have a really good defense, and they
They
have a
could take
good
the lead
running
in that
game.
division.
They
And
run
as
the
you said,
ball,
the Falcons
and they
just
play
won.
defense.
I'm gonna say
The Falcons got a chance.
The Buccaneers play the Cardinals, the Saints, the Falcons, and 2 of their last 3 games are against the Panthers. I'm going to take the Bucks.
So no
the
chance,
Bucks
even with this slumping Bucks and Baker Mayfield's injury.
Oh, here, hold on, time out.
Baker Mayfield's injury.
Can we wait and see what the MRI says about Baker Mayfield?
Sean, what's
we
the
make any crazy decisions?
Sean, you got the
MRI is a bad sign to begin
schedule in
with.
front of you.
The Bucks schedule: they play Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins.
Oh, I'm going Bucks.
Yeah, that's what I just said. But it all depends. It all depends if Baker Mayfield.
The Bucks' entire schedule all year was easy. It was the easiest schedule in the NFL.
So, I mean,
it's his left shoulder.
James, I'm with you.
Bad injury.
I see I picked the Falcons to win this division, and I'm not bailing off my pick yet. They're going to come back and win this fucking division, guys.
I think the Bucks to win the division, but I do think this, man. I think the Panthers, with the emergence of Rico Dowdle and the defense that team has, because they are good. They are a good defense. And Tetsurola McMillan, man. I like if that team could has the possibility of taking the next step. I really do. That Panthers.
The Panthers. I think it's a high possibility that one of those 2 teams.
I love Dave Canellis.
I think it's a high possibility one of those 2 teams overtakes the Bucks.
That dude.
The Bucks have dealt with so many injuries, guys.
I think anytime Bryce Young plays a good defense, he's terrible. There's no way I'm taking it.
Canellis is the man.
So Purdy did just throw his 3rd interception. It's time to put Mac Jones in the fucking game. What's the score? 0-0 still?
7-0 Niners. But
so that's my next question.
My fantasy team, man. I need him in there.
No one cares about your fantasy team. My next question. Yeah, so keep it to yourself. Is C-Mac good enough to carry the Niners to the playoffs?
Hold on, I want to talk more about my fantasy team.
Nope, not letting you. I'll fucking mute you. Is C-Mac good enough to carry the Niners to the playoffs?
Yes.
No. Especially with their schedule.
Yeah, they're going to win tonight. They're going to be 8-4, and then they'll get the rest of their schedule, guys. Go look at it.
The only tough game. Well, they do have 3 tough games left. They have to go to Cleveland, which is never easy to do. They got the Bears, and then they finish their season versus the Seahawks. They got the Colts and the Titans. They only have one easy.
They got the Seahawks at home, though, right? They beat the Seahawks on the road already.
Seahawks are at home.
And the Colts.
And they got the Titans and Browns.
The Colts are in Indianapolis.
Listen, the Browns. We could say the Browns are getting better, and they're competitive, and they have good defense, but they're
going to lose to the Colts.
Wins. I mean, like, they are who they are. They can't move the ball. And if people are buying on the Shedeur J. Sanders thing, you're not watching the games. You're not watching the games.
What's the Niners record?
What's up, Shorty? Thanks for joining us. Shorty,
I'm not buying it on Shedeur Sanders.
Sean, what's the Niners record?
7-4.
Niners are 7-4.
They're going to be 8-4 after tonight, Brandon. What are you talking about?
I'm going no playoffs.
C-Mac is leading the league in yards from scrimmage after tonight. He was only down a few yards from Taylor.
He's about to set the NFL record for the most.
And their starting quarterback just threw 3 picks
in the history of football. Man.
In the first half.
And they're still winning. So, I mean, like that, I think he is good enough to carry them to the playoffs. I wrote the Niners off when they got all these injuries, but they keep finding ways to win. And I
do agree with you, Justin. I think at this point, why not Mac Jones? I mean,
throw Mac in there.
Purdy has looked like shit.
Can I get somebody who will throw Ricky Pearsall the ball? That'd be great.
No, yeah, it'd be good if Ricky Pearsall could get on the field, and he has been. And now we got to get him the ball. Shorty joined me on the bare minimum, guys. Impromptu, just like he was in the chat, and I was by myself, so he jumped on. So I just want to say a thank you live to Shorty. He was awesome. Appreciate
Thanks for covering me, Shorty.
Yeah, he was great.
Sick as a dog.
Okay, next question: are the Cowboys a playoff team? Are the Cowboys a playoff team?
I'm going no.
I'd have to look at the schedule. Sean, you got the schedule in front of you?
I mean, you're looking at the Lions outside of the playoffs right now at 7-4.
Yeah, the Cowboys schedule's tough, man.
I kind of want that Cowboys team to be.
That team is fun to watch. They're fun to watch.
Why? I'm kind of rooting for them.
They score points.
Sean, go ahead.
It goes Chiefs at Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants.
Not a chance.
There's no way. There's
not a chance.
They just beat the Eagles.
No, it's not happening, dude.
Beat the Eagles. I listen. They're a fun team to watch. That is a tough schedule. They got the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving football is going to be a lot of fun. There's some.
There's some good games this year.
Yeah, man, it's going to be great. And the Chiefs are favored in that game.
I know you guys don't care, but there's a great college basketball slate on too. Thank you.
How many Kansas players are not going to be playing?
Oh God, we lost 2 more today, dude. We're the Bears mash unit. This is getting we lost our 3-point shooter this afternoon.
I don't think the Cowboys are a playoff team just on the strength of the teams in front of them. You're looking at the Panthers at 6-5. You're looking at the Lions at 7-4 outside of the playoffs right now. The Packers, the Bears are those other teams that you're trying to take. The Bears would have to fall out of the playoffs basically for the Cowboys to get in. And the Packers.
I'm going to say
and the Niners.
I still don't know if they're the team I'd pick even if the Bears did fall out.
I'm going to say if 9-7 can get them in the playoffs, then yes, because I will tell you the move the Bears should have made. Quinlan Williams has made a complete difference on that defense.
Quinlan Williams has been huge. Yeah,
the Niners held him to a field goal.
Yeah, the Niners found themselves, or the Cowboys found themselves in a position to have to pay a bunch of people again.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones looks like a genius again.
George Pickens needs money. These guys need money.
Dak Prescott has been unbelievable. That's one thing that guys, you just cannot.
Here's a question after this weekend.
Sometimes he's
are the Chiefs a playoff football team?
Okay, so you keep jumping in, man, and I got these questions, and they're wrapped around.
I thought you said you had like 12. I think we're on like 48, dude.
No, we haven't even. We're halfway through it. 2 playoff spots up for grabs in the AFC. 4 teams in the hunt for it. That's Jacksonville, Houston, KC, and the Chargers. Who gets the 2 spots?
The Chargers and the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
And the Chargers.
I'm not going to say the Chargers yet.
You're going Jacksonville? Who else you going, bro?
I can't believe I'm saying this. Houston's on like a 4game win streak right now.
That defense is the best defense in the NFL.
They look really good.
Maybe Houston with Stroud coming back. I'm definitely giving a spot to the
And
Chiefs.
is Mixon ever coming back?
I think Houston will division.
So then that's what that is kind of. It's Jacksonville, Houston trying to. You think Houston's going to overtake the Colts?
If the Colts keep playing like they have,
is Mixon coming back?
Mixon's out for the year.
Is he?
Yeah.
How many times did we say on this podcast?
Eventually, look good though.
Eventually, the Daniel Jones thing is going to run its course. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah, we've been calling for regression on that.
Come on, man. After what he did in New York, there's no way that this guy's
all of a sudden a
Pro Bowl caliber quarterback.
Then the Colts fall out of the playoffs?
Well, here, you know what's going to happen?
I hope so. I don't want to see Daniel Jones in the playoffs.
The Texans are going to get a chance to prove it. 2 of their last 6 are against the Colts. They got the Chiefs.
I think they're going to beat the Colts this week.
And they got the Jaguars still.
That Texans defense is getting better every week.
I texted you guys. The Texans are going to beat the Colts this week.
Defense is getting better every single week. They get better every week. The
Texans team is picking up steam, man.
I would definitely take the Texans. My pick would be the Texans and the Chiefs.
Brandon, who would you take out of those 4 teams? Jacksonville, Houston, KC, and the Chargers. 2 spots in the playoffs.
I'm still taking
the Chargers and Houston. I think the Chiefs might not make the playoffs, guys.
They won that game against the Colts yesterday. It was a close one. They were down.
I watched it. I watched. It was the only other game that was replayed on my TV. I watched a little bit of it, and I'm going to be honest with you, man. First off, Kyle's right. I mean, Daniel Jones has an incredible pocket to throw in, and when he does, he makes good passes. But if this guy plays a team next week in Houston that gets pressure, Daniel Jones I watched yesterday will get murdered. But
it looks like Josh Allen.
This Chiefs team, man,
they're gonna get.
I don't know what the hell it is, man. Like,
but
they always look like they're
Andy Reid will get them back on the same.
I'm not betting against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs play football like
they're the Patriots
back in all the time.
We say stuff like this about the Patriots when Tom Brady was there all the time. We're like, oh man,
we did this with the Chiefs last year, dude.
They're 2-3. They're 2-3, and then they end up winning 15.
I don't know. To me, man, the Chiefs
are so good at this point that you can compare them to the Chiefs.
Yeah, but to me, they look like the Chiefs
that off already a couple of years in a row.
They look like the Chiefs that lost in the Super Bowl to me.
I'll throw this out there when it comes to
the playoffs and got to the Super Bowl.
Throw this out there when it comes to the Chargers. Take the Raiders away, who they play next week. They go Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos.
They got a tough.
That beat up offensive line. I just don't know if they're going to have enough steam to get.
Jim Harbaugh, he'll get it done.
I got KC and the Chargers. I'm with Kyle. I think the Chargers find a way. I picked them to get to the playoffs. I picked them to have a damn good record. They had an injury season from hell up to this point. Hopefully, they get Hampton back and they can get it together. And
you want to know what's great, guys? Is we're going through all these schedules. They're all going to play each other, so they're going to
decide it.
Games to get. They're going to decide it on the field.
What is Houston's record?
Fantastic. Houston is 6-5.
And what is the Colts?
Colts are
8-3.
8-3.
Okay, so that's a little out
Jaguars
of
are
reach.
7-4.
They're 2
It's
games
not out of
behind them, and
reach.
they
It's not out of reach because the
2
Texans
games behind them, and they play them twice, bro.
Yeah, the Texans play them twice. It's hard to count.
Well, I
out
thought
the
they already
Texans
played them
right now the
once.
way they're playing.
No,
No,
they
they're
played
2
them
games
twice.
behind them, and they play them twice. That's
I think
not
the
a
Texans are going to
recall.
beat them
The
this
Texans
week.
could
I really
easily
do.
take that division back. Easily.
They-
Yeah,
the last
That
game of the-
defensive
and-
line is
Brandon, the
scary.
Colts are at the Texans the last week of the season.
Guys, my head tells me it's Houston and KC, but my heart has me going with the Chargers because I love Harbaugh so much, and I picked them already, so I'm just going to stick with
I
that.
don't
Well,
like-
Mikey says that the Chargers, with that schedule, the Chargers are
They're done.
Yeah, I
and
agree
I'm
100%.
that's
That is
kind of why I was saying
That's the
what I'm
toughest
saying.
schedule of all these teams we've talked about so far.
Okay, here's the next question. Are the Browns a better team offensively with Shador starting at quarterback
Then who?
than the Browns without
yes.
Shador starting at
Yes,
quarterback?
100%.
Like then with like I'd
Than
rather-
with Dylan Gabriel or Joe Flacco
Yeah,
or
I mean,
whoever.
I'd
whatever
rather have
they're
Joe Flacco. I'd rather have Joe Flacco.
They
But
traded him, so yeah. But so
Yeah,
you
we
think
can't
that?
count Joe Flacco. You got to count
Okay.
guys on the roster.
So Dylan Gabriel, I said Joe
I'd rather
Flacco.
have Deshaun Watson.
You'd rather have Deshaun Watson on the field than Shador
God,
Sanders.
no.
Yes. Yes.
I think they're a much better offensive team with Shador Sanders, at least for the potential for the deep ball. At least for that very fact. Just
Did you see the 2 deep balls? Did you see?
I saw him throw one to Bond. That was beautiful. I saw
that
him
one
throw
to
one
Bond
That
was the worst play I've ever seen by a corner in my
That
entire
was
life.
so
bro.
bad, dude.
But
He
it
chucked the
worked.
ball down the field.
Yeah,
I
he just
think-
threw it up in the air, dude.
think-
I don't.
Dude, he was
listen,
11 for 20.
J2K says yes. Mikey says no.
I
Better
don't
than
think,
Gabriel.
I don't
not
think Shador
Flacco.
Sanders has the maturity to
Shador's a
play
real
in the
prospect
NFL.
that
I
leads.
don't
Okay,
think
we
he has
can't
the
count
maturity to
Flacco.
be-
We can't do that, guys.
Here,
He's
I'll
not
say this.
there.
Stop
I'll
yelling
say
at the
this.
chat, Brandon.
Is he the best? Is Shador Sanders the best option they have on their football team right now? Yes.
Maybe.
Justin. Dylan Gabriel is like a baby playing quarterback.
Maybe.
He has the most
He
under
can't push the ball
5-yard
down the
throws
field.
in the NFL. He is not. Did you know
Yeah,
Dylan
to
Gabriel's
Bryce
thrown
Young.
like 6 passes over 10 yards? The guy can't throw the football.
Yeah, it's Shador all the way. He's going to start again. That was already
And
announced.
he's like
He's announced today.
5'5".
Yeah,
Sean,
they're
who they
sticking
playing?
with him. They're sticking
Sean, who
with
they
him
playing?
until it runs
The
out.
Browns the rest of the way. The Browns have a pretty decently easy.
Dylan Gabriel's a child. He's like 5'6".
I hope
Okay.
Shador Sanders is playing when the Bears play him. I hope to God he's playing.
Listen, I
hope
think
to God
Shador has a lot of the qualities
God.
that you don't like in Caleb. That's what I think. I think Shador is a
I think
talented
if Shador's
quarterback.
playing when the Bears
That'll
play him,
create
he's.
out of structure,
I
and
think
he
he- I
makes
think
them
he-
more dangerous.
I think he's going to give the Bears the ball 3 times. 3
I
times.
would
I
much.
hope so.
Dustin, if this gives perspective to your question, I would much rather the Bears face Dylan Gabriel than
Fuck yes.
Shador Sanders.
100%. Yeah.
Much,
No,
much.
not for me. Not for me.
much.
I'm
You
just
guys
going
think
to say, I'm
Dylan
just
Guys,
gonna
Gabriel's
say
guys,
better
this.
than
Dylan
Let's take it
Gabriel
down a
is
notch
doing
when he's
things.
not playing
I
the
think
Las
just
Vegas
Shador
Raiders
Sanders
and
is
let
a
him
risk
play an actual
taker, and the Bears are the most.
Did you hear what I
optimistic
said?
defense in football.
Dylan
That's all.
Gabriel is setting the record right now for the worst quarterback that ever
I didn't
played in the
fucking
NFL.
draft him. He's not on my fucking
He
team.
can't throw more than 5 yards.
The Browns got the Niners at home this week.
Brennan, I mean, first
That
of all,
Niners defense has been
I'm
very
not saying
suspect.
Dylan
with
Gabriel's
all those
good, but
injuries.
Brennan, it's
Who
not
said
like
this? Gabriel represents the
He
lollipop
doesn't have a
kill.
lot of tough.
He's
yeah,
a
it's not like
baby.
Brennan, you're acting like he's
a
like
limp
he's
guy.
missing. You're acting like he's missing Jerry Rice.
They got the
and
Titans at home
fucking
after that.
CD Lamb. I mean, he's throwing to Jerry
Shador's
Judy,
gonna start the
David
rest
and
of the
Joe.
season,
Kyle, what are you
Sean.
talking? No, I'm saying they
Tillman.
won't. No, I'm saying the coach is scheming a game plan where they won't allow Dylan Gabriel to throw beyond 5
Here,
yards
you want
because
my
he
answer?
sucks.
You want my
They're
answer?
doing that intentionally.
You want my
Dylan,
answer?
don't throw the ball
I'd
far,
rather-
buddy.
I'd
Don't
rather-
do it.
I'd rather be picking between Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shook than Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders. That's
Dylan
my
Gabriel is awful.
Okay, but I mean, like, I think the Saints probably should have taken Sanders over Shuck. You just said how bad Shuck sucks, and he does. They
I don't
should
think
cha-
either
should
of them
change
have been
his name.
drafted.
Yeah, well,
Here, I'll say this.
Kyle, you don't like short quarterbacks.
The
This is the
Browns-
shortest quarterback ever drafted in the
the
NFL.
Browns have
He's like
the-
5'8".
Did you hear me
Guys, the
say I like
Browns have the
Gabriel? Did you hear
guys.
me
The
say that?
Browns have the Niners at home. Then they have the Titans at home. Then they have a bye, right? And then who knows? Maybe Shador gets better. Young quarterbacks tend to get better when they actually get reps. Shador has not had any
They
reps as
already,
the
have,
number
they already
one.
have their bye. They go Niners, Titans, at Bears, Bills.
Hey,
Steelers.
listen,
Oh, at
man.
Bears, sorry.
This is it. Like, we're all on the podcast here. Anybody here, you guys think he's going to be good? More power to you, man. I am not
I
a
do not.
believer of Shador Sanders.
I
dude.
would much rather the Bears play a guy that cannot extend plays. Shador Sanders can get out of the pocket and extend plays.
Shador
He can make
Sanders,
you
when he
miss.
gets
He's
set up
He's
by good
he's
defenders,
elusive.
gonna-
He's elusive. Dylan Gabriel is not only a statue, he's a statue that's missing
Shador
half
Sanders
his
sucks.
legs. Dylan Gabriel is a quarterback that was projected to go. Guys, Dylan Gabriel was projected to go undrafted to the NFL.
If you're talking about all the free agency,
Shedeur Sanders was projected to be a first-round pick.
right now.
Okay,
and
but
he's
they're
How'd that
allowed
work
to
out for
have
Shedeur
their-
Sanders?
Brandon,
How'd
they're
that work
allowed
out
to
for
have their
Shedeur
opinion.
Sanders? How many
Yeah.
teams passed him and how many rounds, Brandon?
It's not even about. I think it's not even about Shedeur Sanders for me. Dylan Gabriel is going to be one of the worst
gives a
quarterbacks
fuck
that
about
ever
Dylan
played in the
Gabriel,
NFL. He will be. I'm telling you
Who
that right now.
cares?
So you go with the other guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but they did it.
Like, without question.
We said he's not a good quarterback. You keep going back to Dylan.
Yeah, Brent, I said I'd rather
Gabriel.
have Deshaun Watson. He's on the. You said on the roster. He's on the roster. I'd rather have Deshaun Watson
Listen,
than Shedeur
listen.
Sanders,
That's
man.
fair. That's fair,
Listen,
guys.
Shedeur Sanders won his first football game. Dylan Gabriel's a loser. He loses games, and the Bears would murder him.
Very Trump of you.
And I really hope that he's the starting quarterback when the Bears play them. I do. I hope the Bears
Just
play.
voted the Las Vegas Raiders the worst team in football.
I hope
And
the Bears
you're
play
on
the
cloud nine,
5'8"
what, 11
quarterback.
for 20
Nobody's
versus
on
the-
cloud nine. I don't
the
think anybody's.
the
Listen,
Raiders. Then?
I don't think anybody's excited about the Browns quarterback situation. Least of all, fucking Kevin Stefanski.
The Browns
but I
should
think
not be.
Shedeur gives them the best chance to have some explosive plays
Sure.
on offense.
Sure.
That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
So and I think you got to see how it goes in terms of getting practice reps leading up to these games as the number one quarterback to see if that improves what Shedeur is doing. And I think there's some talent there.
Here,
We've
I'll
always
tell you this.
disagreed on
For
this. so I
everything
agree.
he did, Dustin, after his
Judge.
post-game
Broccoli looks
interview,
terrible.
I hope he fails because the guy is.
I
a
believe
jackass.
Watson is healthy.
He's a loser.
Is he healthy? I believe Watson's healthy.
I have no idea, man. I have not followed it, and I don't.
I'm almost
I don't
positive he's healthy.
Let's go to is Joe Burrow going to start against Baltimore on Thanksgiving?
They already confirmed it.
Should he? Should he start?
Yes.
Would you start him?
No.
I would
No.
not either. I would not put him behind that offensive line with that team. No fucking way. I would just let him sit the rest of the season out, get the best draft pick possible, and try to rebuild towards next year if I was the Bengals. Me personally.
Yeah, no chance in hell.
So I just Googled it. Dylan Gabriel, how many games has he
Oh
started?
my God, Brandon, we're on to a new
Dude,
question.
we're already
I
done
know.
with
How many
Dylan
games has he
Gabriel,
started?
dude.
I have to mention this because
Why are
I
you
don't think you
comparing-
understand
Brandon,
how historically
I don't
bad this is.
understand why you're comparing these. I don't understand the comparison. Who are
Well-
you doing this for?
Well,
Who are you
no,
doing this
Shedeur Sanders just completed 6 passes of 10 plus yards in one game. Dylan Gabriel has 4 in his career.
Who cares? It was the fucking Raiders, dude.
That's why I wanted to say he is not bad. He's historically.
Brandon, he's throwing the
Off.
ball.
Brandon, you're hilarious. We moved on to another question.
Oh, I had to say it. I had to because I read the stat and
Everyone knows-
I didn't even believe it to
Brandon,
be true.
they
Who's
know
throwing the
how
ball?
bad Dylan Gabriel sucks.
Shedeur
Yeah,
Yeah,
throwing the
that
ball.
should have been the question. Is there anybody worse than Dylan Gabriel on the Browns roster?
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur
he's-
Sanders.
I did
he's
not
throwing the
expect-
ball 23 times. And he has 3 picks.
Yep.
Yeah, all right,
Okay, guys.
move on.
Yes.
Fuck
So
the Browns.
should Kyle, you never answered. Should Joe Burrow start? Would
Yes.
you do it if you were the Bengals?
Yes. I mean, unless you're just throwing the white
Your
towel.
season's over.
It's over. Unless
Yeah,
it's
I
over.
think so, too. I
But I
would
mean,
not
when the-
want to
when the
get him
team
hurt.
that's-
It's more
when
about protecting him.
When the
physically.
team that's leading the division is 6-5,
You got a chance.
I would
yeah.
say your season is not
You're
over.
right. You're right. And Joe Burrow makes a big difference for that team. And we all picked them to be a playoff team. So I get what you're saying,
Is
Kyle.
Cincinnati winning in Baltimore?
We'll see on Thursday, I guess. They're going to start Joe Burrow. I mean, I just don't know if I would want to put him back behind that old line. That's what I
They're
don't.
3-8. They don't got a chance in hell, dude.
I mean, the Ravens are 6-5. The Steelers are 6-5, right?
What are the Bengals, Sean?
The Bengals are 3-8.
Yeah, that's over. That's
It's
over.
right.
I would not put them
You're
out there.
out of your minds. Their season is over.
This
Joe
is
Burrow's not going to win out.
Lead, man.
I feel like Brandon already answered this question because he went so far about Dylan Gabriel, but I was going to ask:
He sucks.
Is JJ McCarthy the worst quarterback in NFL history?
Oh, God.
NFL
He's
history?
certainly inching towards
That's
it.
rough.
He's certainly
I
inching
don't
towards
understand why
it.
you
I
guys
think
keep saying
Anthony
NFL.
Richardson's worse.
This guy's played 3 games, and you're like, might be the worst quarterback in NFL.
Because I hate
history.
JJ McCarthy. This is a clearly
quarterback
biased
that
question.
played in NFL history.
I think
There are
Anthony
quarterbacks who
Richardson
never
is the
played in the
worst
NFL who never
first
completed a pass.
round quarterback ever. Anthony Richardson is the
JJ
worst quarterback
McCarthy is
drafted
the
in the
shot.
first round ever.
You're forgetting about Jamarcus Russell, who JJ McCarthy is in rare.
I could have said Terrell Pryor, who became a receiver, but I didn't
But
go
no,
that way.
Jamarcus Russell was a number 1 overall pick,
The worst-
and he had He's
he
like
the
the
worst
worst.
starter in the NFL?
Well,
No.
Anthony Richardson was not a number one overall
the worst
pick, but he was
starter.
a terrible quarterback.
The worst starter in the NFL right now to me is either Tyler Shook or Shedeur Sanders. To me, those are the two worst starters in the NFL.
Dude, JJ McCarthy's not on your list, dude.
JJ McCarthy
He's number
is
3. I just said
historic up to this
he's
point.
not. He's not the worst in the NFL. He's number 3 for me.
There's only
personally.
one quarterback that's been worse than him since 2000, and it's Jamarcus Russell
I don't
by
give
all
a
the
shit.
metrics.
Sean, how many times has Tyler Shook beat
I
the
think-
Lions this year?
I'm going to be disagreed with, but
Zero.
I think
0.00.
Yeah, I guess
think-
that's true.
I think Tua Tagovailoa should be in that conversation. I think that guy sucks.
James says he's better than Fields.
It's a weird time. Miami's won 3 in a row. You're like,
Hey, all I gotta say is I sent this in the text earlier. Justin Jefferson, arguably the best receiver in football, is produced with every quarterback that he's ever had. He can't get a ball from JJ McCarthy.
Yep.
He produced with Cousins, Nick
Sean,
Mullins,
Sean,
Joshua
my point.
Dobbs,
Sean,
Sam
here's my
Darnold,
point.
Carson Wentz.
Here's my
Come
point.
on, man.
If you're taking the two
Yeah.
quarterbacks and they both suck, like they're both not good at being quarterbacks, then you take the one who at least has won football games.
Or you take the one with potential and upside and has physical
I'm
talent.
starting to
I
think
don't
I'm thinking JJ McCarthy
I
over
don't
Tyler
think,
Shook all
I
day.
don't think JJ McCarthy has that. Here's Sean just made the point that I think is most important. The quarterbacks that KOC has gotten production out of in his career as the coach of the Vikings, when you
1
consider
year.
that and you consider what JJ McCarthy is doing
but
with KOC,
It's apples
that's
to oranges.
really
He's on his
bad.
5th NFL
really-
start. He's
Yeah,
not,
but
we're talking
what's
about guys who
Dobbs?
played in the NFL
Dobbs
for
they
5
pulled out of
years.
Hey, Kyle,
Dobbs,
Kyle, let me ask you this
we
question.
got some balls to be calling somebody the
Hold
worst
on.
quarterback in NFL history. We drafted Cade McNown.
Let me ask you this question, Kyle.
I don't know if JJ McCarthy's the worst
on.
quarterback in NFL
Hold on,
history.
Listen,
time
it's a
out.
tongue-in-cheek question.
Would
We had
you-
Craig
would
Krenzel
you-
as a
Clearly
quarterback.
being
For
facetious.
your franchise,
Come on,
Kyle,
man. Jesus Christ.
Would you draft a quarterback that your own college coach didn't trust to throw a ball in a
Or
fucking
draft.
game? Would you draft him?
I would, but I wouldn't draft Tyler Shook either. So that doesn't answer the question that Dustin's asking. Is he the worst? First of all, the NFL history is
The
ridiculous.
question was a joke.
You're talking about who's the worst quarterback.
He's
If
bad,
Dustin-
though.
if
He's
Dustin's
really bad.
question is
He's
who's the
really
worst-
bad.
If
Really
Dustin's
bad.
question is who's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL, I'm not taking the guy with a win. I'm taking the guy without one.
Okay, that's fair
Taking
enough,
Tyler
Kyle.
Shook.
That's fair.
JJ McCarthy sucks. The Vikings made a
I
terrible
agree.
decision.
He does suck. He's
They
terrible.
traded,
He's not
they
good.
traded
I'm
in a
happy about
Ferrari
it.
for a
I'm
Civic,
happy.
as I said
I
earlier.
hope he's
They
their
made a
starter for
bad
the next
decision.
10 years, dude.
Listen, the Vikings set themselves back at least 3 years by drafting JJ McCarthy, so we should all be happy as Bears fans that he is the starting quarterback for the Vikings, and hope he continues.
I am
to be.
very happy about it.
Yes. My next question. This one's a good one. If you could pick one receiver in the NFL to start a team with right now, you're drafting. Who would you
An
pick?
NFL who?
An
Receiver?
Jackson
NFL
Smith
receiver. One receiver that you could pick to start your team right now today. Who would you pick?
Jamar Chase.
I like it. Jamar Chase. That was where I was kind of leaning when I was thinking about it. Brandon?
I don't know, man. The obvious answer for me is Jackson Smith and Najigba, but I still very firm in what I believe. I think Tetairoa McMillan at his age is going to be one of the best receivers that ever played in the game. I really do.
So you're just.
I think he's a 152 touchdown guy when he's playing on a good offense.
Are you doing this because of the age? Like Jamar Chase doesn't get consideration to start.
I think Tetairoa is just a freak of. He's a
Jamar Chase
6'5",
might be the best ever.
225-pound freak that runs faster than most people. He's just a freak. The guy's a freak.
Mikey, is that
He's
a
a
joke?
freak.
Is that a joke,
I
Mikey?
think he's the LeBron James of football. That's what Tetairoa McMillan is to me. He's a guy that shouldn't be able to do. It's like DK Metcalf stuff. He's just a freak, dude.
Well, let's look at the stat line.
Stuff that God gives you, that you're born with. Athletic.
Right now, he has one catch for 6 yards.
Puka's good. I like Puka, man, but God, the injuries, dude. I don't know if I could ever tower. The guy goes out in a quarter of every game. Every game, Puka Nacua shows up on your fantasy team as questionable, and then it's like, oh, he's back. Well, he's questionable. He's back. It's like, dude, the guy cannot stay on the field.
Puka's a stud.
I really like him.
The best receiver in the NFL, and he might be one of the best top 5 receivers.
We'll never know because they'll never play a full season. We'll never know what his statistics could have been.
Go ahead, Sean.
I'll give you mine.
Statistics.
It's the receiver who has the most yards in his first 3 seasons. That's
Jackson
4,825. The
Jackson.
most in the first three,
Justin.
the most receptions in his first 3 seasons. The most receiving yards in his first 4 seasons. The fastest player ever to 6,000 yards. The fastest player to 100-yard receiving games, which was achieved in 62 games.
All right, Sean, why Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase, though? Why Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase?
Because he holds every record in the NFL at the wide receiver position. Which
And in
tells you
college.
what?
And in college.
Which
He
tells you
holds
what?
most college
He's the
records.
best at his position.
But also probably in a much better situation.
He had
Joe Burrow
multiple
barely
200-yard
played.
games in
Kyle,
college.
we just went over Carson Wentz, Joshua Dobbs, Kirk Cousins,
Sean, but
Nick
Sean,
Mullins.
since
Better
Jamar Chase was
situation?
drafted, how many games does he play with Joe Burrow?
Who?
Jamar Chase. How many games does he play with Joe Burrow in
How
his
many
career?
has Justin Jefferson played with the quality quarterback, bro?
He is a much better coach.
Nick Mullins,
Much better coach.
Joshua Dobbs.
Oh God,
George
Taylor's so
Pickens.
bad.
George Pickens
Way
isn't on you
better
guys'
coach.
list.
Do you agree with that?
Is
We
he
talked
better
about the
coach?
Bengals
Justin
going to the playoffs.
Jefferson.
The Bengals coach is getting fired.
Justin
you agree
Jefferson
that-
holds every record for wide receivers, breaking every record that was established by every
I knew
other
this would be
wide
good.
receiver.
I knew this would be
The
I mean,
receiver?
Sean is usually the guy. Dude, Sean, if I'm like, hey, Sean, I'm not drafting Jamar Chase.
JSN is the
Yeah, let's
answer.
throw JSN out there.
He's the
'cause that's what we've
answer.
been talking about all
He's
day.
that's what I
I'm
said
not-
first. He's
I'm
the
not-
obvious answer.
Yeah. Listen,
He's the obvious
JSN
guy's
is
a freak.
He's the obvious answer because you're living in a moment.
Yeah, no, 100%.
The
Justin
moment of
Jefferson
this
is-
year,
yeah,
he's
that's
good.
Because he's
Living a
developed
career in
tremendously.
totality, it's Justin Jefferson.
I
because
would
he
go.
holds
I would
every
go for that.
record that
I would go.
NFL wide receivers
I
can
think.
have.
Let me make this point. I think Jamar Chase is a great answer. I think Justin Jefferson is a great answer. I think Rolla McMillan is probably a shitty answer, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm laughing at you, Brandon.
Yeah, no shit. How did you think I interpreted that to begin with?
I am laughing at
If it's not Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, I'm going Malik Neighbors.
Neighbors is the answer. Neighbors is the
I
answer.
mean, I guess CeeDee Lamb is dog shit.
Malik Neighbors is fucking phenomenal, and he can beat you on the deep ball. He's one of the better route runners in the league.
We disrespected the fuck out of CeeDee Lamb.
If you're talking, I love CeeDee Lamb. But
CeeDee Lamb
I
is
would
my
say
top
this:
five.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, what he has done this year has been fucking impressive, and you could not go wrong with him. And the thing that's been most impressive, as I was saying earlier today to you guys, is that he's getting open in the red zone. He only had 4 touchdowns his rookie season, 6 touchdowns last year. He's got 7 already this season. He's got 6 red zone targets, and he's got 5 red zone touchdowns on those targets. He's getting open in the red zone. And the thing that's really impressive on top of that, DK Metcalf ain't on the other side of him no more. He is literally the only guy the defense needs to focus on, and he gets open. He is the best route runner in the NFL. At his size, to dominate in the red zone the way he has, it's very impressive, guys. That's all I'll say. But I like Neighbors, Kyle. I like that answer.
I'm not disagreeing
I
on
love
JSN, but his longevity, it's one season. He has to repeat what he's doing, which is almost impossible to do in the NFL.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
you know who
gotta
it's not
see it
possible
again.
for? Justin Jefferson, who's done it every year of his career. That's why
when you
he's the
see-
fastest to every mark of any wide
What
receiver.
was the
in
question?
history
I thought
of
the question
NFL.
was like a future question. Did we just
Well,
ask who the best receiver is?
No, I asked who would
Build
you
a team
start
around.
a team with? Who would you start your
If
team
you
with?
started a
If you could
team
pick one
tomorrow, an
receiver?
expansion team, and they were like, you could pick any receiver.
Yeah,
in
it
the
wouldn't
NFL.
be one of those guys that's in their mid-20s. I would go young.
Neighbors would make sense to me. That's the guy that's one of the guys I was thinking of.
Neighbors
JSN
makes more sense because of age.
JSN
already.
is young too, as well.
All right,
So-
Brennan, if you had to
really
pick one for one season, who would it be? Is that a better question? If you had to pick one receiver to add to your team for one season, who would it be?
he's gonna pop back on and
It's
be
not
like,
fucking Ted
Rob-
McMillan. dude.
Honestly,
Dylan
man,
Gabriel.
probably. I'm an LSU guy. Probably Justin Jefferson.
All right, well,
Okay.
there you go. So there
Nice.
you go.
The
You got another,
the guy's a
question?
freak.
Okay, here's the-
He had multiple 200-yard games in college.
You guys, you don't have to convince me that Justin Jefferson. God damn it, Justin! Can you go to the next fucking question, please? Jesus Christ, dude.
But he was like the best college receiver.
Kyle, have you
maybe
heard
ever.
of Justin Jefferson?
I've never
Have
heard
you,
of
have you heard of Justin Jefferson, Kyle? When you say Jamar Chase, are you even thinking about Justin Jefferson?
like
Here.
you're acting like Justin Jefferson was
Here,
in my
I'll be
in my
honest.
top 3.
Here,
Like,
I'll be honest.
very close. I just think Jamar Chase is the most dangerous player in
When it
football.
comes-
That's
when it
all. That's
comes-
just my only argument. I don't know
Chase
about
is a good answer.
maybe
man.
Justin
He is.
Jefferson's more consistent, but Jamar Chase could score touchdown at any
Here,
given
yeah.
when it
second.
come to
Yeah, he's
it,
got that Jerry Rice in him.
it's
He's got that
1A,
Jerry
1B
Rice
for
in
me
him.
when it's Justin Jefferson
100%,
and Chase.
sure. And I have
And
nothing-
I'll
no-
be
no
honest,
problem
I
with that.
picked
No problem
Jefferson
with
because he holds every goddamn
that.
record
Sean,
in the
Sean,
NFL.
I have no problem with you picking Justin Jefferson. I was just asking you why. That's all. I was just asking why.
Okay.
I think Jamar Chase-
Who's better, the
Jamar Chase
Bengals
is
or
more-
Vikings number 2?
Sean, I think Jamar Chase is more dangerous, and Justin Jefferson is
Yeah,
more
100%.
consistent. That's what I think.
And I think Malik Neighbors might be better than both of them when it's all said and done.
I love Malik Neighbors. I think if it
Yeah.
wasn't
Who's
for that
better,
20
T.
you're
Higgins
talking
or
about
Jordan
top 3
Addison?
for sure here.
That's
Hey.
pretty close too, man.
Can you
Jordan
imagine
Addison's
Jackson Dart?
pretty damn good.
Can you imagine Jackson Dart if he actually had?
I
Malik
take
Neighbors
T.
to throw the
Higgins
ball
over
to?
Addison, though. T. Higgins can do shit Addison can't do. It's just
Addison's
like
pretty good, man.
in terms of the
is
contested
always
catches.
undersold as just some fucking.
No, I love
layup,
Addison.
dude.
I thought he was he was my favorite receiver in that draft, Sean. He was my number one receiver in that draft. So yeah, I love Addison. I just think Higgins can do things in terms of bodying.
Everybody we've mentioned is really good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, that's
100%.
Let's move on to this. Is Myles Garrett going to break the sack record this season?
Yes.
By 3 sacks.
Yes.
It's 23.5, right?
What does he have right now?
22.5.
He's going to have 25.
He's at 18 right now. He's got 6
18?
games.
I thought he was at
He's at 18?
He's at 18 right now.
He's going
to
have 6
28
games.
He's going to have 28.
Destroy it, dude.
He's having like the LT touchdown.
Here's a better question. Here's a better question, Dustin.
Is he the best defensive player of all time?
In the history of football.
Yeah, that's a conversation, man. That's
here's
too
a
long of a
question.
conversation. That's why I didn't go with it.
Here's a question Sean's going to hate. Will the Denver Broncos break the 84 Chicago Bears single season sack record?
Oh, how many sacks do they have? I don't even know.
The Bears had 72 in a season. The Broncos have 50.
Yeah, probably.
7 games left. No,
they got 6. They got 6 games left.
They got 22 sacks.
They got 22 sacks and 6.
You're also talking about doing it in a 17-game season. Same as Myles Garrett.
But
it's still a record. If they break it, they break it.
Myles Garrett's going to break that before 17.
You might break that next week, bro.
That's 3.5 sacks per game, and that schedule they have.
He's only averaging 5?
I don't know. They're going to be close.
It's tough, man, because that Bears team.
Myles Garrett is the best
murdered everyone.
To play football, and on top of that, just looking at him physically, he's a fucking freak of nature.
I think you start comparing White.
Mikey
you start comparing him to Reggie White. You start comparing him to Haley. You start comparing him to Strahan, Lawrence Taylor. You start putting him in that conversation, and he can hold up with any of them. And you look at him as a physical specimen, and my God, I am so afraid. I get afraid of.
So, can I ask this question? If you can go back in time and offer 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett in the offseason when they shopped him, are you doing it?
No, not without.
You don't have Colston Loveland.
You're losing Colston Loveland, and you're losing.
And you don't have a first pick next year.
You would have given away. You give away more than that.
But you have the best player in NFL history.
You're giving away more than that. You've been giving away 2 first rounds.
You have the best defender in NFL history.
I was going to say,
I trade everything for him.
When it comes to the 16,
if you were in a position to win the Super Bowl, fuck yeah.
And the Bears are 8-3 right now. Sean, you were going to make a point.
No, when it comes to the 16, 17 game thing, when it comes to Calvin Johnson and JSN, Calvin Johnson did it in 209 targets. JSN's only on pace for 165.
Yeah, I think
even though he has the extra game, he's doing it with a lot.
And I think the Seahawks have attempted like 200 less passes than the Lions did at the same point. Like that Lions team.
What JSN's doing is
the Seahawks team.
Yeah, that's why I said it, Sean. He is the obvious look. Right now, he is tearing the league apart.
Are the Broncos going to beat the Bears record? I mean, well, if they have an extra game, that's kind of unfair, right?
But Kyle, they would if they did it right. If they got 76, and you went and Googled that the day after who was the record for the most sacks in a single season, they did get the record. They break the record.
That's fine, but there's always going to be an asterisk. Always.
Okay, Myles Garrett's going to break the sack record. That's happening.
And my answer is still no.
I think 50 sacks right now.
He might break it. He might break it in the next 2 games. I honestly,
Broncos team is chasing, man. I don't know if you guys know. This Broncos team's getting like 4 sacks a game.
They need 3.5 per game, so they have to have a couple of games where they get 4.
Yeah,
and Benito and who's the kid across from him? These guys are getting sacks at a pretty rough rate, man. I mean, they're 2 of the top 10 players in the league.
Right,
they're smashing it.
Your last question.
I got one more question. As I said, Stafford is the clear MVP. I don't think that there's any competition for him right now. 25 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his last 6 games? Is that the stat or 7 games?
I think it's 6.
8 games. He's had 25 touchdowns, 0 interceptions last 8 games.
That's fucking insane. He's the clear MVP. But who is your offensive player of the year?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Dude, Jonathan
JSN. It's not even close.
Everybody so confidently just said a completely different person.
Yes, Jonathan Taylor has 5 games with 3+ touchdowns.
Yeah, I still think it's JSN.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's going to depend how this season plays out.
Going to break the yards record. Jonathan Taylor's going to break the touchdown record.
Dustin, I'm going to say Jahmyr Gibbs because I think the only time the Lions have looked really bad this year is when a team stops Jahmyr Gibbs from running the football.
Okay.
The Vikings won that game against you. I don't know if you guys looked at the stat line for Jahmyr Gibbs when the Vikings beat the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs had like 23 all-purpose yards. It was pretty clear cut. I thought after that game, every team that played the Lions was going to model this scheme. Like, we got to just take this
Well, that's
guy out
easier
of
said
the.
than done.
I know,
bro.
but like you would think we got to just take this guy out of the football game. So, Dustin, I guess to your point, if it's easier said than done, if you're implying that teams are still trying. I don't know if you guys saw Jahmyr Gibbs yesterday had a stat line that covers like 4 weeks of football for any other player in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
He caught 11 of 12 targets.
Some
He
big
had
catches,
200 yards on 15 carries.
You guys, I think people not saying Jonathan Taylor is just people trying to get cute because if 2 weeks ago,
yeah, you're
2
probably
weeks
right.
ago,
I think Jonathan Taylor is going to finish the season on a rough note. I'm going to be honest.
NFL fans I talked to said Jonathan Taylor should win MVP 2 weeks ago.
I think he's gonna finish. I think this Colts team's gonna finish the season on a bad note.
I'm just gonna say this.
I don't know what it is, but I think they do.
I'll get this out there. For me, Jonathan Taylor has to continue to do what he's doing.
Yeah.
2 of his last 3 weeks have been
The
absolute
Colts
duds.
need to keep dominating.
The guy who has not stopped and will not stop and is rewriting history books, doing it in less than his predecessor, is JSN. To me, he's uncoverable. He's unstoppable. And again, 2 of the last 3 weeks for JSN, the 2 losses that are for Jonathan Taylor, they lost to the Steelers, they lost to the Chiefs. He was a non-factor in both of those games, with the Colts schedule continuing to get harder, playing tougher defenses. If Jonathan Taylor can't keep up what he did at the beginning of the year, he falls off.
Yeah.
And JSN,
the number one target in the red zone right now, Kyle.
Hold on. What were you saying?
Drake
Sean,
London.
Kyle was talking. Okay.
I mean, what you say? Like his last 2 games have been terrible. Jonathan
2 of
Taylor.
his last 3. Check out his stats against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he wasn't great yesterday.
Well, you know what was in the middle of 2 of the last 3? 32 rushes for 245 yards, 3 touchdowns,
That's
3
great.
receptions for
That's
42
great.
yards.
That's great.
Bro, he has 15 touchdowns on the season.
Kyle,
was
he is
against the Atlanta
favored.
Falcons,
He's favored
who
on the
suck
line. He's
He's-
favored
yeah,
on
He
the
but-
played
line.
better defenses.
As
He's gonna have
Swaggy
over
points
20
out here,
touchdowns, guys.
Jonathan
He's gonna have
Taylor
over-
is
Who's the
is
last
like
running back with
minus-
over 20 touchdowns?
Jonathan
last running
Taylor's
back
like
in the NFL
minus
with over 20
350.
touchdowns?
Yeah, he's the leader.
And here, you know what?
Was it
Let-
David
at the
Tomlinson?
end of the year, if Jonathan Taylor
Jamal
fizzles
Williams?
out and this guy is a 2,000-yard receiver, and he rewrites the wide receiver history books, which he's well on his way to doing, I think there's a good argument between him and Jonathan Taylor.
I got a stat I want to throw out here in regards to this conversation.
Jamar Chase was the Triple Crown winner last year, and he didn't win no MVP. So I don't know.
I got a stat.
Offensive player of the year.
I got a stat here.
Jamar Chase won
Yeah,
Offensive Player of the Year.
And he should have.
I got a
Over
stat
Barkley?
here, guys.
Good God.
I got a stat here, guys, that I want to throw out in regards to this conversation. Just straight scrimmage yards, because there's somebody we haven't mentioned that I want to throw out here.
Christian McCaffrey.
14. Thanks, Kyle. There's 1465 yards from scrimmage for Jonathan Taylor. This was going into today, so this was everybody had an extra game over Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey 1,439 scrimmage yards. Bijan Robinson 1,396. Jackson Smith and Jigba is the only receiver in like the top 8, top 9. I think him and Pickens are the only 2 in the top 10. Jackson Smith and Jigba is 4th in the league at 1,350 scrimmage yards right now. For a receiver to be that high up with these running backs, that is really impressive, to make Sean's point. But Christian McCaffrey at 1,439, he's got 11 touchdowns. He's single-handedly carrying this Niners offense. He is the only good thing about them. I think there's a real case to be made for Christian McCaffrey, especially if you're talking about it in an MVP sense, like the most valuable player to their team. I think Christian McCaffrey is that guy. And Gibbs is 5th on that list. He's right behind Njigba at 1,330 scrimmage yards and 13
I got a question
touchdowns.
for you.
I still think that's wrong. You take Jonathan Taylor off the Colts, they're one of the worst teams in football. I think
You
that's
take
wrong.
JSN off Seattle. What do they have?
Yeah, they got nothing. They got
Yeah,
nothing.
Darnold?
I'm
You know,
projecting.
Sean,
I think
They can
I'm
still win
projecting.
games with their defense.
I think
Jonathan
Gibbs
Taylor
finishes
is
with
Colts.
the best.
He
I think
is
Gibbs
the Colts.
finishes the strongest.
He has 15 touchdowns, guys.
Yeah, no, Jonathan Taylor is clearly the
He's on pace
runaway.
for 25 touchdowns in an NFL season.
Kyle,
I
he's
think-
clearly the
don't
runaway
think he's gonna
favorite.
get
And
there,
if he
though.
continues that kind of pace, then yes, it won't even be
Yeah,
close.
it's not going to be a question.
Yeah, but if
If
he
he
doesn't and he
continues
does
that
fall
pace.
off, and Jackson Smith and Jigba does, then there's a fair conversation for Sean.
What if Jahmyr Gibbs keeps doing what he just did?
Yeah, he's not going to. Like, he's not going to have games like that consistently. But if he were to, he would run away with it.
Gibbs might be the best receiver.
I just think of all those guys that you just named. I think the best case for this team can't live without this guy is JSN and Christian McCaffrey. From my perspective,
Jonathan Taylor. I wouldn't take.
Jonathan Taylor is. I think Jonathan Taylor is also a big part of. I can't say this actually because all of these guys' offensive lines are good. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs' offensive line is good. The Seahawks' offensive line is good enough. You know, and the Niners' offensive line is solid enough. So I mean, like, yeah, Jonathan Taylor is the clear-cut guy. I just think Christian McCaffrey needs to be considered because I think this Niners team would be, you know, maybe a five
receivers conversation. We forgot to mention Drake London, which is pretty egregious.
Drake London is a guy I thought about
didn't
a lot.
Say a word about.
Yeah,
Drake
I should have
London.
mentioned him. Yeah, he's one of my favorite receivers.
He's the best red zone target in the NFL.
He is. He's a guy that I would not be upset with if I had him in that role.
Oh, the best red zone target in the NFL is Devontae Adams. It's not even a question, dude.
They just talked about it on the last Falcons game.
Bernard,
he has the highest touchdown rate in the red zone in the NFL.
Bernard,
Devontae Adams has the most touchdowns.
Yeah, he has the most touchdowns.
I mean, over the course of his career, guys, he has 20. Get this, okay? He has 23 touchdowns in his career right now. Drake London.
Dude, you're talking about
21 of them were from the red zone. 21 of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. He is the most dominant red zone threat. Devontae Adams,
6'6" machine.
Devontae Adams right now is the best end zone person.
Sean, how many touchdowns?
He had one catch for a touchdown in the last game.
How many touchdowns does London have? 5? It's 5, right? 5 touchdowns.
He's missed 2 games.
How many does Devontae Adams have?
12.
London missed 2 games.
It's not even close.
Yeah, and right now it's not in terms of getting in the end zone. But if I was going to pick somebody between those two, I would take Drake London if I was
especially since his quarterback.
You're talking about all game, but you said red zone.
Yeah, I think if you swapped out Drake London with Devontae Adams in that Rams offense, it would look pretty fucking scary.
Guys, you know what they're comparing that fade, that little fade to Devontae Adams right now? You know what they're comparing that play to? That little fade at the 1 yard line, you throw a fade route to Devontae Adams. You know what they're comparing that to right now? The tush push. They're like, is this just as successful, if not just a little bit below the tush push?
Or handing it off to Mike Allstott, or
handing it off to Kareem Hunt
or throwing it up to Jimmy Graham in that situation. Like there's a lot of comparisons.
Or throwing it up to Drake London in that.
I mean, that is their tush push. That is their tush push.
Those are my questions. That was my 12-pack of questions. I appreciate you guys entertaining me. I know it took a while. We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes now, so.
Well, we knew that was going to take a while.
Drake is a great player.
It wouldn't have taken as long if Brandon didn't get smoked with fucking Dylan Gabriel.
I wasn't saying he's MVP. I was saying, in regards to the question, you could start a season or a franchise today with a receiver. London would be on my list.
Dude, seriously, watching these two quarterbacks right now, the Brock Purdy and Bryce Young, is like watching two kids.
And the Niners are up 10-3. The Niners are up 10-3. How bad is Bryce Young been? Purdy has thrown 3 interceptions, and the Niners are.
Dude, you guys, Bryce Young is averaging 2.8 yards per catch.
Who you got? Packers versus Lions
per attempt.
Per catch, like all the
per
catches
completion.
The passes he's thrown have been completed. He's averaging
2.8
yards per completion.
Packers at Lions.
The catch is a completion, bro.
Guys, Packers at Lions.
But that's the receiver stat, dude.
I got the
Packers
Lions.
at Lions. Flex wants to know who do we got. Lions at home.
I got the Lions.
I got
Thanksgiving.
The Packers are playing.
The Lions have looked like shit, man.
Both of those teams have looked very inconsistent. I give the edge to the home team on the short week, like I was saying with the Eagles, man. I'll take the Lions. It'll be a very close game, field goal game, probably.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs goes off again.
We'll see, but I think the Lions wins the game.
The Packers defense has been pretty solid up front.
Yeah,
that's the run they have. They have.
I
still think Jahmyr Gibbs goes off. He's the best receiver on the Lions.
Their secondary sucks.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is on the Lions, Brandon.
I know. I knew that saying so.
That's a strange statement.
Say that. Yeah, I agree.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the top 5
I don't know,
receivers in
man.
the
I'm not
NFL.
wavering from this.
Yeah, you
No,
guys are making it a lot.
Jahmyr Gibbs does
You
not
guys are making
catch
it sound
balls.
like one of the most dramatic statements in the history of the world. Jahmyr Gibbs could be a damn good receiver in the NFL, dude. He
Oh,
is
shit.
amazing. He
He's
has
the
like
most
6
athletic
catches a
player in
game,
the
bro.
NFL.
He has like 6 catches
Guys,
a game.
Jahmyr Gibbs is the most
damn
athletic
good.
player in the NFL. There is no debate to be
I
had.
don't think he's the
He
most. I
is
think
the
Myles
most.
Garrett is
He is the most athletic player in the
I
NFL.
think Myles Garrett might be the best athlete in the world.
Well, put him in a foot race.
Just speed. I thought it was
Let's
not just
have them
predicated off speed, bro.
Bench press competition.
Let's see the high
bench
jump.
press. Yeah,
Let's see
have
the
bench
high
press.
jump.
Okay, let's
Miles
have him
Garrett had one of
pull
the
a
best
chain.
high jumps in draft.
And it's still nowhere near Jahmyr Gibbs. That's incredible. How that works.
Anyways,
The athleticism.
I don't think Gibbs is gonna have the game like you just saw him have against the Giants on Thursday, but we'll see. Hopefully, I honestly, as someone threw out in the chat earlier, hopefully it's a fucking tie.
Hey, are you guys doing a Thanksgiving bare minimum?
I am not. No, sir. No, I'm gonna be drinking and hanging with family. I'm going to see my brother actually in Wisconsin, way up deep in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I won't be here this Wednesday because I have to work Black Wednesday.
I got to work Black Wednesday.
Sean, unless
too,
you want to do an early
driving
show
overnight.
What time do you want to do an early show?
I mean, I have to be at work at like 5, I think. Anytime before that. All right, guys, let's let these guys get out of here while we just.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been holding them hostage this whole time.
Well, the second half just started. So.
Yeah.
I can't log off until they finish.
Until we stop arguing with each other. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. Sean, you want to sign us off, man?
Good, better, bad. Never let it rain. Never let it rain. You're gonna get better. You're gonna get better. You better get better. You better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears!
He's so fiery.
Hell yeah! Ben Johnson does that before.
He's so fiery, dude. I love this guy.
Dude, Tina texts me that video. Tina, the owner of River Street, she doesn't care about football. She texts me that video and she's like, man, that guy is the most infectious person I've ever seen speak in my life. She's like,
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. I don't care about the Bears, but I want to run through a brick wall. I'm like, I know, man.
Yeah, that's must watch TV, guys.
Maybe we'll take
he's
the
man.
Yeah, I think we got a holiday week, guys. It's okay. I think people will understand, and we got the Bears on Black Friday. Maybe we could do something Black Friday morning.
30 minutes. Talk about the Bears and Eagles on Friday.
We could do the bare minimum Friday morning.
Unless you guys want to do a show Friday morning.
That's what I was just saying. Friday morning.
All of us.
Sean, I could help you out with the Wednesday show if you needed.
We could do Friday.
Everybody can do Friday, right?
Yeah, I think everybody should take the holiday, guys.
Ahead of the Bears.
Yeah. Before the Bears game at 2:00
Friday morning. Yeah.
My wife will be so happy if I don't do a podcast on Wednesday.
There you go, man. It's time for family. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for everyone in the chat that Kyle was just naming.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if we don't see y'all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Gobble, gobble. And we're going to do something Friday morning. Maybe Wednesday we'll make a decision. But Friday for sure, we'll see you before the Bears kick off.
Give thanks this week, guys.
I'm thankful for everybody. I'm thankful for Ben Johnson. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for Caleb Williams, for everybody who thinks I hate him.
And for beer and biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy is the shit, man.
It is amazing. It's a top 3 meal in the world, bro.
All right, guys.
Thanks to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button if you have not already.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Tear down.
Oh, look.